Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4Player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy. We're starting this show. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 607. It is July 18th, 2019. My name is Nick Henderson, and to my right is Brad Simons.
Hello.
Nolan Hedstrom. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nope. What the
fuck
was that,
I'm sorry.
Nick? What was that?
I'm not even on the show.
Just stepping on his lines.
No, I was going to say, Nolan, while I have you here, perhaps you should unmute Chris Davis's microphone now.
No.
Damn it.
How's it going, guys? I'm Nolan.
Christopher Guthridge.
Hey.
Hey.
What?
I don't know. I'm just...
What the fuck do you want, Nick? I said hey.
This is exactly what...
We're here.
This is exactly what I want. And also...
And my name is Chris, and yes, I'm here too.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you. Chris Davis just took care of it myself. Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. We're going to be doing something a little bit different tonight. We do have some impressions. We don't really have a ton of news. So we're going to just get through our impressions, and then we're going to do our top 5 games of the year so far. We do, of course, have some feedback from last week, and we have some questions from our supporters on Patreon, so we still got plenty to get through tonight, and we do have a supporter spotlight that I will bring up in the second segment. But before we get started, a couple things. Of course, want to mention Discord. If you're not in our Discord yet, please join us there at discord.gg/4player. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player, and you can find all of our podcasts at 4playernetwork.com. Did I forget anything? No.
No.
Do we want to talk about the Cats trailer?
No.
Are you sure?
No. That thing is fucking terrible, man.
It's pretty bad.
I just don't.
It's not for us.
What, like?
No, we don't want to talk about it.
No, but like, why did they do that? Why
Money,
did they do that?
Crispy.
Like, it's not
Money.
like it's not like what. Like, I get why they're making a movie of it. I get why they're casting all these people to be in it. But like shouldn't they just gone and made a full CG movie, like an animated movie,
dude,
stylized it a little bit?
Crispy.
Why did they have to go the fucking nightmare fuel
Crispy.
horror route of like realistic humanoid cats?
All they needed to do
in a cat scaled world.
He'll take anything you hand him. If you hand him something, he'll take it.
I went through all this trouble to bring Brad a gift, and he gives it to the dog. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry,
Cats.
hold on, Crispy. All they needed to do. This is all they needed.
Poorly composited faces.
You take some Sharpie, you put a little dot on the nose, you put some whiskers on the cheeks, you put on a headband with ears, and that's it. That would have been a great movie.
We are talking about the Cats.
As someone
trailer.
who's recently walked out of the Broadway production of Cats, I cannot wait.
You walked out of a Broadway production?
Hold on. Step back. It was not
sorry,
Broadway.
It was here in
Broadway
Austin.
in Austin.
It was a traveling rendition of Cats.
Yes.
As
you still
performed.
walked out, dick.
That was
At halftime.
highly misread.
At halftime. Do they call it halftime?
Sorry, intermission.
Intermission.
Sorry, I don't know why. Intermission. During intermission.
The
we were-
halftime
Actors
show
go back to
sucked.
their locker
It was
room.
around 4.5 lives when he left.
Oh my goodness.
No one.
Everybody
Sorry.
wants to be a cat.
Let's move on.
Because a cat's the only cat.
He knows the song.
I'm learning
Who
about
doesn't
this.
know Rum Tum Tugga?
Let's see Cats.
Everybody.
Is that a cat from Cats? I've never seen Cats.
Everybody wants to
Yeah, what is
be
that
a
from?
cat.
I don't know, but it sounds.
I didn't go to the Cats musical.
What is happening?
I don't know. I'll tell you what's happening right
This
now.
is a video
Feedback.
game podcast.
Feedback from our last episode, guys. Reminder: if there's anything that you want to say, any questions, any thoughts, anything to add to any of the conversations we have on the podcast tonight.
525,600 minutes.
Yes.
If there's anything you want to add to tonight's discussion, please head over to 4playernetwork.com and leave a comment on the post for this episode. We will read and respond to it in the next show. Right now, we have feedback from our last episode. The Metal Button says, every time Nick passionately brings up Turok, I'm reminded of one of my favorite 4PP episodes containing Nick's Turok snap. God, I miss 4Player Podcast Weekly Top 5 Video Game Podcast. That's great because we're doing a video game Top 5 Video Game Podcast in this podcast. He posted links to that clip. I haven't watched it myself, but I'm sure I freak out about it. He also posts the code, the ultimate cheat code for Turok. That game is so good. Sorry. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on. Cheese Kid says, if the Switch Lite has to be portable only, it should at least have a 1080p screen and be able to perform as well as when a regular Switch is docked.
It can't. The battery life doesn't support it.
There we go. There's so many great Switch games that run like dog shit in portable mode. Also, Nick, holy crap, play Max Payne.
He is.
Oh, that was quite the shift in topic here. I did play Max Payne. I'm going to talk about it tonight. If you can find time to play Clive Barker's Jericho, you can play...
What?
Shit.
I played Jericho like 10 years ago, and people are
Calling you
still
out.
using it as ammo against me.
Calling you out, bud.
Well, you know what? I did play Max Payne, and I will talk about it here shortly. I even
Talk
brought...
about a misspent youth.
I think I do greatly regret spending my time playing Jericho.
Do we have a tweet saying that we're live?
Yes.
Yes,
I retweeted it.
Are we live?
No.
Yes, we're live. This is the podcast. Can
I
you
didn't
scroll
see
down,
it.
Chris Davis? Thank you. Equack says some clarification about the EVE Online changes. We had this conversation last week. The game consists of about 10,000 star systems, each of which is a discrete region, like a map in a typical online game. Every system has a local chat channel only accessible to those in that system. So by looking at the user list in that channel, you could see who's in the system. The significance of this is that you were safe doing, for example, mining, as long as no hostiles were in the system. If someone enters via a Stargate, you can spot it immediately and have time to get away. It also made it easy to track the movement of large fleets. The live intel networks of larger groups was all based on tracking enemies using these chat channels. Okay, there we go. Thank you for the explanation. He says, under these new changes, however, there can be 30 cloaked hostile ships more or less next to you, and you would have no way of knowing unless someone saw them enter the zone. Since most systems has multiple entry and exit points, even hidden ones like wormholes, this is really hard to do. It makes many activities more dangerous, but it might also backfire if people compensate by no longer taking risks. Certain parts of space already worked like this in the past, but as a counterbalance, they were much harder for enemies to access as well.
At will.
Man, there is a whole side of I didn't realize how fucking crazy EVE Online was.
Yup.
That's pretty fascinating. Thank you for the detailed breakdown. But if you want to know more about that, we did talk about it last week, and that was a pretty interesting update there. Has there been any movement on that at all? Anything else?
I have no idea what's going on.
Is everything
in the world,
burning?
Nick.
Is everything on fire
I
over there?
literally don't know anything.
You know, we could just all start playing EVE Online and just become an EVE Online podcast.
I don't have time to play the EVE Online tutorial, let alone play the game.
Dude, no joke. I did play the EVE Online, the
also,
opening tutorial
I did
ones.
back in the day.
It's 60 hours.
Dude, I didn't play the whole thing.
It's
I gave up.
Yeah.
What?
I took a whole month subscription to play through it, and then I uninstalled at the end of the month, and Steam had my time at 60 hours.
Speaking of 60-hour tutorials,
So what had happened to me was back in 2008 when I had first was going to college. My roommate told me about EVE Online, and I was like, this thing sounds amazing. And so I downloaded it, and I was like, my internet's going super slow. So yeah, I had a bandwidth cap at UT, and 10 gigs was my bandwidth cap, and EVE Online was a 10 gig download. And so I literally used my entire month's bandwidth downloading EVE Online.
man, when did they start doing bandwidth caps at UT?
When the fucking school got giant and there was a lot of people living on campus.
Most of us didn't go to college during Internet 1.0.
Are you muted right now, Brad?
No.
But they don't hear it.
Yes, they do, Trump.
Yes, they do. Whoa, shit.
Must have missed that tweet.
All right.
Anyways, I'm sorry we botched your attempt to transition, Brad, but you and Crispy have been playing a new game.
Speaking of
There
60-hour
we go.
tutorials,
Thank you for picking up. Let him put it down.
I've been playing a game that is, I think, maybe entirely a tutorial.
Really?
Yeah, it kind of never stops.
I mean, I played it at E3 and that was all tutorial.
I think I need to step back and reevaluate kind of what this game is going for. But me and Christy have been playing Dragon Quest Builders 2.
So, Brad, I wanted to ask you why you started playing this one. Because you didn't play the first one, right?
I remember Crispy
played
played
a little
it.
bit
I know
of it.
Crispy
I do
did.
own it.
Uh-huh.
But I just never got around to playing it.
So what drove you to play this one?
Well, it's on the Switch, and it came out, and I have GameFly, and
Okay.
so I watched a couple of video reviews and stuff, and just the actual footage I saw in the game got me like really fucking excited.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're flying around and like fucking flying crafts and stuff, and like the
What?
exploration. Yes,
I didn't know we could
the
fly
exploration looked really cool, and
Turns out he was just watching footage of No Man's Sky.
Some of the new stuff and the improvements sound like really great.
I've
you
just
know?
been farming, and it's really fun.
Well, that's because you're on like a farming island. So
Yeah.
like structurally, this one's a little bit different than the last one. Where in the last one, you got to a new area, you built up the town, you finished that whole area, and then you moved on to a completely new area, and you started from scratch completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything from scratch. New area to build up. You can't go back to the old area, and the game would just progress like that,
That
through
sounds
like
pretty
4 or
poopy.
5 acts or whatever in all these different locations. But now you have this hub island. You have this hub island that you can create whatever you want on it.
Awakening.
And
Are y'all both playing on Switch, by the way?
I'm playing on PS4.
I'm playing on Switch, and that was kind of a tough choice for me because it runs a lot better on PS4 and it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it runs fine on Switch.
This
but,
is Switch footage, right?
Yeah,
Looks all right.
but the portability is what made it desirable for me. I'd just be able to play it a lot more. But now you have the central island, and you go to these other like themed islands to build up, and they're sort of like the hubs. They usually have gimmicks. This is a farming island.
Mm-hmm.
But after you finish that island, you can go back to your hub island, and you bring back everything with you. And all the materials and stuff that you got from the island, now you can use all your new shit to keep building your main hub island. And so you can't bring, you know, all your materials to like the new themed islands that you go to, but you can bring all
You
the
can bring
stuff
stuff back.
to the
Yeah.
hub. Which is very different structurally than how it was in the first one. And they did a lot of things, from what I understand, to kind of like streamline things. Like before you had like durability on all your weapons and tools, and now like that's gone. You know, they did some smart remapping now where instead of having to switch to your hammer every time you want to destroy something, you know, like a block or whatever, it's just mapped to a shoulder button. And it just feels nicer to play compared to what I played in that first one. Still a very similar type of game where it's Minecraft but very structured and very much like a JRPG at the same time.
It's very goal oriented.
I just watched
very
you
goal
crush a block and leave without picking up one of the resources. And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to die inside.
The thing is, what you're gonna see in this footage is a lot of conversation, and there's a lot of talking in this game. Like there's a lot of story, there's a lot of characters, there's a lot of talking. Every time you like progress like a single step in whatever your current quest is, you're having a conversation with somebody,
Everyone wants to talk
and,
about.
and it's a lot of reading.
Some of it's pretty charming. I remember
With
like
that said, the writing is actually really good, and it's funny and it's charming, and I find that somewhat surprising because, you know, I've dabbled in my fair share of Dragon Quest games, but this actually seems funnier and like more charming
Is that your house,
than your
Brad?
typical.
It's a pretty shitty
No,
house.
no, that's just some random house.
Okay.
I just got
that's
to
some
this,
rando who doesn't have a roof.
I
in
just
their
got
house.
to this island, but it's so like handholdy, step by step, lots of talking,
It's-
conversation. It feels like I'm in a tutorial, but I think this is kind of just how the game progresses.
It's pretty baby game so far.
Well, yeah.
I mean, not like it isn't fun. It isn't like engaging, which it definitely is.
It's
kinda,
it's a
got-
light experience.
It's got like a Stardew Valley kind of vibe to it now, you know. But like, yeah, they want to make sure that you are like very sure of what's going on at all times.
Yeah,
like
yeah, but maybe that's just like the first handful of hours sort
Maybe.
of thing. But you know,
But I feel like because every island is all about teaching you new sets of skills and
Yeah.
construction, that it's
But-
just gonna kind of like keep doing that.
so. Like, I guess I don't really mind that, especially because you can go back to the hub island and kind of have it more freeform exploration
Yeah.
and just kind of do what you want with your own creation and stuff. But the writing is good. But
It is.
do you remember when I talked about SteamWorld Quest?
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like the way they present the dialogue, and I'm not saying it needs to have voice acting. It'd be nice if it did, but there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
The way it's presented is so kind of boring. Like, it's just maybe the font sucks, maybe this black box sucks. That there's no like portraits or anything, so it's just the
Just
name
a lot of
Yeah.
reading and hitting
over the
hammering
corner of the
X button.
box. So every time a dialogue box pops up, you got to look in the corner to see who the fuck is talking.
Yeah.
It just, you can present dialogue so much better, nicer, more elegantly to make it more fun to read. Like presentation of that stuff matters. It really does. And I think it has more to do with, maybe less to do with, I don't know, they were lazy or not inspired to do something cooler, and more, just Dragon Quest tradition dialogue is presented in this way. Kind of boring, honestly. But
it's always
man, I think of a game like Vagrant Story, which that is a game that it came out in like fucking 2000, right?
It's a very different world.
It's like
now.
a 20-year-old game. There's no voice dialogue, but like the way like the dialogue boxes are like fucking handcrafted in that game, and it's such a joy, like the way that's presented. It's like cinematic almost.
I found it
here.
strange.
This is just a boring little black box, and you're just spending honestly hours reading this shit, and it's like, fuck, dude.
It could really stand to be leaner. I mean, to be honest though, like I'm skimming a lot.
But imagine.
I feel like that wouldn't even hurt the experience.
It really isn't.
Funny.
But
it's good writing.
there are certain characters that are like, yeah, I mean, they're really funny. Like I found a guy today. Like I had to go out and I was looking for like farmers to work my fields, and I found a dude who was like at an old abandoned farm, and he's just like busting up the place, and he's like a devout worshiper of the Lord of Destruction. So he's just like breaking shit to like please his god, you know? And
as
you
one
start
does,
talking
yes.
to him,
Of course.
and he like starts explaining like, oh my god, if you put he's like, don't you go over there and build a scarecrow and put it in this field because it's gonna make me want to till the land. And then you do it, and he gets like really mad. He's like, ah, and he's just like tilling the land.
It's funny. One of the things
At the end of it, he's like, I'm sorry, my lord, I have like moistened my brow with the sweat of constructive labor. I'm sorry.
So you have a companion in this one.
Mm-hmm.
He
I've seen the
is
person
the
following
reincarnation of the Lord of Destruction.
And it's so obvious, and none of them know.
It's so obvious, and he has amnesia, so he doesn't know it. And he's just like your friend, and he's like, all right, we're gonna fucking build.
Yeah,
at one point he's like, oh, let me try to build. He's like, oh, I suck at this, but I'm good at beating shit up. The thing is, he's like a psychopath.
Yeah.
So like he's like, when you first meet him, you're both kind of like.
You're lost.
You're lost on a deserted island, right?
Sure.
Which becomes your hub island. And you meet him. He's like, "Dude, come over here."
Oh, that's
Ow.
weird because the demo I played at E3 I thought it was the tutorial, and you wake up on a ship.
Yeah, well,
you
that
start
is
on
the
a ship
tutorial.
That's like the monsters who are like part of the religion that worships the Lord of Destruction.
Mm-hmm.
You're prisoners on a ship. The ship crashes on a deserted island. That's the
Gotcha.
Island of Awakening. That's like your hub island. And the whole thing with that is it's a desert island, so there's no resources on it. So that's why you're going to all these other islands to get shit, so you can like
gotcha.
build a home.
Okay.
So
that
you
makes sense.
so you wake up on this desert island after the shipwreck, and you meet this dude, and he's like, "Oh, hey man, what's up, dope? Hey, look what I found. Come over here." And it's like, "Dude, check it out." And there's like all these dead bodies, dead humans from like people from the ship, and he's like, "Isn't that cool? Have you ever seen this shit before?"
Yeah, and it's just like a bunch
It's
of
like
corpses.
and like one of them is like alive, and she's like, "Oh, I'm alive. Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Let's just fucking kill her. Let's just put her out of her misery."
fuck?
Like later, she like eats your fucking dinner or something, and he's like,
Okay,
let's
dinner.
He's like,
let's just
oh,
fucking
fuck that. We're gonna kill her now.
yeah, let's
right?
just kill her in her sleep." So it's like funny because it's your friend, and you're playing like a silent protagonist, so it's not like she's commenting on the fact that your friend's a psychopath, but they're like super buddy. They're like high fiving and shit, but he's like absolutely a psychopath.
That's awesome.
It's pretty great. It's honestly pretty great.
It's so weird because, like, first of all, at first glance, I was kind of like, why even bother putting much of a what? Does it need this much dialogue? Especially if you're not going to take that much effort to put like.
I mean, it's like
It's a JRPG.
No, it's like
slash Minecraft.
Like a lot of times, like the way I'm kind of reading through it is like people come up and they'll ask me to do things, and I'll read that stuff. But then, like when I finish the task and they want to come up to me and be like, "Oh my god, you made that fucking signpost I wanted you to make for me. This is great. This will make our village so much better." I'm just like, whatever. Okay, I don't care.
You skim.
Just skip straight through
What
that
I've
shit.
noticed when I'm not skimming is that it is actually like really well localized, and,
Yeah.
and that is.
It's getting really well received, isn't it? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean both of these.
It's
games
really
are.
fun. Like I got fucking sucked into it today.
But it does it seems like the type of game that would have like a loop that's like really addictive and you can't stop playing. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then that's gonna feed into this, and I'm gonna go do that, and like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and this before I fucking turn off this game. But it's not. It seems like that type of game, right? Because it looks like Minecraft, and Minecraft is absolutely that type of game. But this is so like structured and rigid.
That was kind of my fear.
that it's like it's hard to get addicted. It's good, but I'm not really like addicted to it.
Well, how far are you?
Because that hasn't opened up yet for me.
How far are you?
I'm not that. I'm this far.
Prince of the Universe says he's been playing for 40.
I'm here too, but I've been playing a lot, and I've like built up this whole farm a lot more.
Okay.
It does get to a point where it's like, okay, here's what we need. We need a bigger field. We need to harvest this much wheat, and we need like a barn. And they just tell you how to like make all this stuff, and they're like, go do it.
Okay.
And then you just go like work on chores all day, you know, or do whatever the fuck you want, or go explore.
Yeah.
Go find other things.
Which is
fun.
fun.
So it gets to the point where it's like, it gets to the point where it's like, you've got 3 or 4 things you could be working on at any given time, and they're a little bit more, you know, longer term goals that you're trying to accomplish. So it stops being less of like, go over here and get this and come back to me, and then go over here and get this and come back to me, and then build this thing and come back to me.
I'm sure it's like that early on.
It loosens up a bit.
Okay, I just haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah.
But I just know as soon as I get to like a new island, it's gonna be the same shit again.
And there's a lot of shit on the island. Like there's a lot that's like kind of encouraging you to get out there and explore, because there's a lot of like fast travel points around the island. There's a lot of these like builder puzzles you'll encounter out on the island where it's like,
I heard them compared to like the Korok seeds kind of.
Yeah, it's like there's just one little like thing you need to do to either like build or destroy something, and then you get this like special coin, and you collect those coins, and I don't know what you do with them yet, but I've got
mini medals.
Yeah, mini medals.
Mini medals. That's
How
a
dare
Dragon
you call
Quest.
them
Yeah.
coins.
Whatever. I'm sorry. Mini medals.
Yeah.
What do I do with
I
them?
will continue
They'll
to call
unlock
them.
shit
I will
eventually.
continue to call them coins.
But
You will continue
I'm at
to be a
that point
fool.
right now where it's like that field right there that Brad's got. Like I've aerated all that land and set up a fence, and I built a barn over there, and that house is like reconstructed. I've got like a few houses now. I've got a bunch of villagers who are all working for me. I've got like a mess area and like a cooking area. So like I've got the place running kind of like self-sufficiently now.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot more like going out and exploring and like coming back and like building improvements and stuff. And that loop is super addictive.
Do you feel like you have like this is kind of reminding me of like Dark Cloud in terms of like the city builder part, where it was kind of like part of the fun or the charm of that game was like figuring out where
Except you're not
where
really
to
doing
place
dungeon
things.
crawling, but
Yeah.
it is kind of. So one of the cool things is like he was saying about the dude he met who just wants to till the land or whatever, like. You set up like a scarecrow, and that designates an area for them to go farm, and they'll automatically go do it.
Yeah, I saw the character
build that
Rosie or
little-
whatever, watering
So
like.
you're
the
kind of
stuff.
like guiding them
You build that
via.
little reservoir for water. They'll like if you plant seeds,
Yeah.
they'll automatically go and start like watering them.
It,
or if
it makes it feel like
rains,
kind of like a
it'll-
city builder or something.
Yeah. So like,
and that's really
like
cool.
a lot of the little like chores in like growing the food and doing that stuff, they'll do for you.
So the AI kind of takes over like other
right.
characters.
You are just like building the field and planting the seeds and saying like, okay, this is gonna be my cabbage field.
Later-
this is gonna be my wheat field, and then they just like take care of it.
And later on, they'll
That's
like
cool.
build for you too. Like I saw in like a video review, you'll get these like very large blueprints for like a fucking castle or something, and all the villagers will come together and they'll start like fucking building it for you and shit. You just have to get the materials.
God damn! I
That
didn't want
seems
to like
cool.
this game.
I mean, it's really cool.
No, I think this is.
That's the problem,
game
Brad.
you
It's
like.
right up my
Stardew Valley.
fucking alley, and I don't have time.
It's like Stardew Valley meets Minecraft.
meets Frostpunk.
But more rigidly structured, almost like a Persona game or something. Not like
You
a
keep
Persona
fucking
game.
naming games I like.
What else
It's
does
not
Nolan like?
Yeah, it's you know,
It has some FTL in there, Nolan.
it's really fun, dude. Like you start.
And charming.
I don't know. When you start like meeting all these NPCs who do different things for you. Like now I met a worm who like his whole thing is he will eat all the like nasty dirt that you can't grow in, and he'll turn it into like arable land.
Yeah.
So like he eventually gives you things where he's like, hey, if you throw this in a spot, like I'll go make that whole field like grassy, and then you can like plant flowers in it or something like that. So like I like once you get to the point where it's like, okay, go and like start curating your little village and start building shit, you just like your mind starts like going crazy, because it is very much like Minecraft in that all of this land, like everything is like, with the exception of like one type of like stone block that some of the mountains are made out of, everything is like movable, destroyable, replaceable. Like you can literally just like shape the land that your village is on if you want to.
So I'm just still a little early with this game, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
it's finally gonna open.
It takes a while. I mean, you're close though. Once you like,
Yeah.
once you get however
The
many
evil
like,
dude just showed up, and I
cabbages.
shut the game off because I was like, he just wants to talk to me a bunch.
Oh, yeah. So when he shows up, that's when things start like opening up because you get this thing in the middle of your town called the Dia Tree.
Yeah.
That like
Yeah, I saw it at the end of this footage. I think, when it showed up.
that like as you improve your village and level up your village and build more things for your
They
village,
do more shit.
that tree gets stronger and it like becomes more powerful.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's fucking
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like,
really charming.
like, and this is running on a Switch. On like a PS4, it's like 60 FPS. It's a really
No, I mean, yeah,
colorful, bright.
I was pretty impressed by
Nice
the way it
looking
looked
game.
and felt and controlled and everything at E3. It's just like it's a kind of a hard game to demo
There's,
at
like,
a place like E3
vehicles
because
and
it's all
shit.
tutorial
Oh, man.
shit.
That's
but-
nuts. This just makes me want to go home and play it.
I hate this fucking.
I'm just
game.
gonna go. I'll see you guys.
All right, later, Crispy.
That's
All
why I
right.
brought my Switch.
So I have a game I want to talk about real quick. Brad, last week, well, I don't remember it was last week. I talked about
For
how-
years, I've been shaming you into trying Max Payne, Nick.
for years. Have you? I mean,
Glad
I
to
feel
see
like-
you.
You're a Remedy fan.
feel like
Glad
well,
to
I'm-
see you finally gave in to peer pressure.
I did. Yes,
It's
I.
not. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be a chore. You
It's not a chore. It's not a chore. I'm not. It's just one of those things that I've never really had a good opportunity to play it. I wanted to play it on PC, to be totally honest, but just for what I don't have a good setup right now for playing PC games that require using a mouse and keyboard. So
You mean
and it doesn't have gamepad
just
support.
say no desk.
I
because
don't
that's-
have a desk. I mean, I kind of do, but it's like it's not very comfortable to sit there for extended periods of time. I have to like pull this like really tall desk out and like unfold it and everything. It's not a great situation.
Unfold it.
I have a folding desk, yes, that I had stored in my closet. I pull it out, I unfold the legs, and I sit there. And it's not very comfortable.
I wish I wasn't, or my family wasn't sick last weekend because I really would have liked to have come over and heckled your setup.
Well, I'm glad you didn't then, you son of a bitch.
I saw it.
Hey, I like my setup. It's just this one thing. I don't play a lot of PC games, but you know what? Most PC games these days have gamepad support, so it's really not that big of an issue. This game just does not happen to. So I'm playing the PS2 version on my PS4. And you asked me a little while ago. So, first of all, yes, I'm a huge fan of Remedy. I love Alan Wake. I loved Quantum Break. I'm really excited for Control.
You even played American Wasteland. Is that what it was called?
American Nightmare.
American Nightmare. I
Yes.
think American Wasteland's a Tony Hawk game.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is correct. Yeah, I love Remedy. I think they're one of my favorite studios for like storytelling. So I love all the games. That's probably one of the main reasons I was really excited to go back and try Max Payne because I've actually played Max Payne 3. We all know that one is not Remedy. That's a Rockstar game. And that's kind of my only taste of the series I've really had. I mean, obviously I've seen screenshots and footage of it and everything before this, but this game has some really cool qualities to it, just right out of the gate that I really love.
You also saw the Mark Wahlberg movie?
I saw the Mark
Oh
Wahlberg
my
movie.
God.
I mean, a long time ago. It's pretty much completely forgettable. Chris Davis is saying I didn't like Dusk. Why are you saying that, Chris Davis?
Because you didn't. But
I
that's
mean,
off topic.
That is off topic. It's true. But anyways, what I'm really liking about Max Payne so far, and it's because this is kind of like this is obviously one of the games that put Remedy on the maps. I started with Alan Wake, and you can see a lot of the inspiration for Alan Wake, like how it's like started here, because like I love the way they tell the story and like how he's always narrating and stuff in this game, and it has that like really like I don't know how to describe it.
Noir.
Crispy, yeah, I guess noir is the best way to put it, but like
Neo noir.
neo-noir.
Neo-noir.
Sure. Yes. Thank you. I can't think of these words. But it's like really great voice acting in this game. Like it's cheesy, but it works really well. And it plays with the action. The only thing is because the game is like so much older, and it's kind of hard going back to at times. Like it does these like really awkward cuts where like you'll walk through an environment and then he'll naturally like there was a book sitting on the desk, and you walk over there and you hit X and then it cuts to black and you wait for the cutscene to load, and then it's just like a still like comic book kind of like panel shot, and then he reads the panel out to you, but like it's
like the Stanley Parable.
It's weird. It's very old school. Where like all the stories, like it's a very old school, like late '90s, early 2000s, like shooters and stuff, where all the story is happening like in scenes that are so separate from the gameplay. It feels very disconnected.
Yes.
Where Max Payne seems like this this big elaborate story, and then the part where you diving through the air and you're shooting a bunch of dudes, and it almost seems like they're barely in the same game.
Yes, it is very true.
But that's just an old school thing. Before,
Yeah, I mean, like
Half-Life sort of changed things.
It's cool to see the beginning of it because obviously it evolved into something that feels very natural with like Alan Wake and everything that came after it. But what's here is still really cool. I'm digging the story, I'm digging the characters and everything. It's just awkward at times the way they cut between the two things.
It gets crazier.
It
too.
does.
I mean,
I'm starting to see some crazy shit. Like right now, the footage you're in right now, or you're watching right now, I'm in a gothic nightclub.
Is it called the Gothic?
It's
Castle?
called Ragnarok.
The Gothic Castle.
Oh, Gothic Castle.
The Gothic Castle.
No, it's called
Gothic
Ragnarok.
Castle.
You'll be walking on
Gothic Castle.
red lines in no time.
Okay, let me tell you right now. So, real quick, the one other thing I wanted to say about that I really like in this game, and maybe this is why I never felt the need to go back and play Max Payne, is because I started with Max Payne 3, right?
Yeah.
Because I thought it looked cool. But the one thing I think Max Payne 3 lacks that this game is they picked a really weird setting for Max Payne 3. Yeah, it takes place in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and it's like it's like all bright and like takes place largely during the day and everything. They still capture a lot of the same like vibes in terms of like the same like storytelling beats, like the narration and stuff, which is great. I mean, it's inspired, but like
Can they see this?
there's something really fascinating about this game, or something not fascinating, but like something really pleasing about the setting of this game. How it's like,
It's like Goth Club, so it's something
No,
you're a little more familiar with.
Yes, exactly, Crispy. No, I'm more referring to like the New York, like the New York at night during the winter, and it's snowing outside, and it just feels really
Gritty.
appropriate. Yeah, it's super gritty and just feels really appropriate to the content of the game.
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of a weird change for the game going to Max Payne 3, but this is really nice. But the gameplay, like, is pretty fucking dope. I mean, it's kind of janky. Like, it's not super.
What are you playing this on?
PS2. Oh, I'm playing on PS4, but I downloaded it off the store.
Gotcha.
But like the gunplay and like the way, I'm really surprised how well the like the bullet time and stuff works in this game, considering when it came out. Like
There's a lot of auto aim in the console version.
Oh, it's a ton of auto aim. Yeah, like there's times where like I'll fire and it's like clearly like 5 feet to the right of the dude, and he still goes flying.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of hard to like care because everything just looks so cool and feels cool. So I'm really digging that aspect. The one thing I will say, and this is driving me crazy, and I think this is probably just a problem with the console version, but like when there's a lot of sections where you have to like walk on something that's really like skinny. Like you have to be on like a ledge of a window, or at the end of this footage, I don't know if we'll get to it, but I'm walking across these wooden beams.
Just wait, dog.
And it's not even like I don't even know what it is. I could be walking in a straight fucking line, and all of a sudden I'll hit a point, and it just glitches me off to the right, like just pushes the character off to the right, and he falls
Dude,
to his
dog,
death.
just wait. You're gonna hear a baby crying. Ooh, it's bad.
In the console
it's
version.
great.
Wait, what are we talking about here? We're talking about you're preparing me for like a glitch?
No, a sequence.
So we're probably not gonna get to this thing, but at the end of this footage, actually we probably will here in a second. At the end of this footage, I go out this door here. I gotta fill some time. You've got to see this. It's so bad. Like, first of all, this game wasn't made with analog sticks in mind, so he moves really fast, and it's really hard to make like sensitive like.
Wait, what?
precise.
This was
Like,
a
watch.
PS2 game.
Yeah, but
They didn't use the analog
look. All right,
sticks
watch. I'm walking on this beam here. Or I gotta shoot this dude first.
It's originally a PC game.
But I have to go. I have to get through this sequence here in order to progress, and I'm walking across this beam. I'm trying to be super, super careful. Although I can't remember how careful I am in this sequence. But okay, that's probably not a very good example. But the second time I try and get to it, where I shut the game off in frustration, is I'm just walking across the thing. I'm moving in a straight line. I'm going super slow, and all of a sudden it just like pushes me off. Like it just moves my character like 2 feet to the right, and I fall to my death. And I was barely even touching the controller. It's really frustrating. So I'm hoping I don't run into too many roadblocks like that, because I do want to finish this game.
Yeah, you should.
Is Max Payne 2?
And play the second one.
Okay, that was my next question. Max Payne 2 is also pretty good.
Yeah, they're both well received.
I might try and spend the time to get Max Payne 2 running on my PC. This has just been a little bit frustrating, but
Well, yeah, whatever you do, don't skip to Max Payne 2. You gotta play both of them.
No,
They're not
I mean,
long
I'm
games.
clearly not skipping it. I am playing Max
Yeah, I
Payne
know.
1. But, this game's pretty dope. It kind of makes me... I was playing this, and I was like, this game plays really well. It feels really nice. The story is... the setting is cool. The story's cool. The characters are cool. But, like, it has that, like, early 2000s PS2 delivery, and it's just like, man, this would be a cool game to see remade with, like, modern technology. Like, this would be a really awesome game. Especially if Remedy was the one to come back and do it. But who knows if anything like that will ever happen. But anyways, that's all I have to say about Max Payne. It's pretty cool. I'm glad I'm playing it.
Into a trapdoor.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah, he died and he was redoing that section.
Yes, and I die again at the top of in the same place.
Save anywhere. Anyways.
Not in the PS2 version.
Oh.
It auto saves. It's the worst.
Click on chat, Chris Davis.
He's doing something, Brad.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Anyways, so Nolan,
What's up, Nick?
you played some Outer Wilds since last week?
I did. I had bought it because it was on Epic Store.
Yep.
A super sale because that was when Epic was doing their like $10
That's what made me
off
buy it.
and all that shit.
Why did you just play my version? Oh, wait.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Fail.
And so everything I had heard about the game sounded fantastic. I liked what I heard, so I was like, you know what? I'll give this game a shot. I had listened to the soundtrack a little bit.
It's a good soundtrack,
It's a
right?
pretty good soundtrack.
And you hate the game.
No, goddamn, this game's pretty fucking
Cool.
good, man. Just like random exploration and finding shit, and like, oh, I'm on something, and let me jump across this gap, and oop, I fell. Oops, oh, I'm in a black hole. Oop, now I'm teleported to some other part of the fucking galaxy.
Yeah,
or
right?
solar system.
Here I'm roasting
That happened to me.
marshmallows.
Yeah.
I was on that planet that was like collapsing.
Yeah.
And I was out of my ship, and the ship was like falling on a giant chunk of rock towards the planet's core, and I was like, no, and I jumped after it, and we fell into a black hole.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's really cool.
It is.
This is the footage you had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is
I
like
don't.
from
I
last
didn't
week.
capture new footage. But yeah, and then being on the twins on the planets, and like, oh, like I was exploring the first one, and the sand was rising, and I was like, well, I heard that the other planets like less sand, so let me go see what's going on over there. So I hop in my ship and I fly over to the other one, and I park, and I'm kind of exploring some ruins and stuff, and I hear like, and I'm like, oh, the sand's coming, and all of a sudden I see my ship just whoosh. Just gets sucked up, and I'm like, "Fuck my ship!" Like it's sucked up.
There
to
are
the planet.
times when I completely forget this is a time loop,
Yeah.
and I see something happen. I'm like, "Fuck! How am I gonna get out of
you
this?"
get
And I'm like,
fucked.
"Oh, wait, right. I just gotta
Yeah.
wait a little bit, and it'll be good."
But
I
yeah,
feel
no,
like
there was one point where I tried to jump to something and I missed it, and I ran out of fuel or whatever, and I'm just me floating in space. And so I was like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And I'm just like floating there, and so I just stare at the sun and I just wait for it to implode and just.
Or you could have just taken your helmet off and just died in space.
You can do that?
Pretty sure you can take your
Fuck,
suit off,
I didn't know
right?
I could do that.
Wait, what?
You can go into the ship, take your suit
No,
off.
I
and
didn't
go
have
outside.
my
if
ship.
you're like,
I was
if
stuck
you're
out in
just, like-
space.
yeah.
Like my body was stuck out in
Oh.
space.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
There should be a button that just takes your helmet off.
God, that
But
would be
I
fucking-
will say that
like
I did.
Tim Robbins in Mission to Mars, where he's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
and he's
I
like,
will
kill
say
himself.
that the time that I had
Exactly.
died in space
fucked up,
from
man.
a lack of oxygen was another time. I felt like when I woke up, I was gasping for more breath
Yeah.
than all the other times.
Oh,
I
you mean
died.
that noise he makes when he's like, and that's
Yeah.
when that's the start of
It was
the
a
new
lot
loop.
more intense the
Yeah.
time I died from lack of air.
It's cool.
But yeah, like so here's yes, this game is not the best game in the world. Here's my problem. I have no idea what the fuck to do.
Okay. That is a problem that I was struggling with at first for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still kind of struggling. But like,
So don't get me wrong. I've been going to planets and I've been reading the logs and I'm trying to keep up track with. But I don't feel like I feel like I need to take some physical fucking notes.
the thing is, there really isn't any specific right or wrong way to play
No,
through
I
this
know.
game, which is
I know.
nice.
It's just the problem is I'm hearing the story about these people and I forget their names now. But I'm hearing that there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And like, oh, meet us here and try going to this place. I'm like, okay, yeah, let me like remember that. And then of course 5 minutes later I've already forgotten what it was. And you can go to your ship and you can look at the logs, but the logs only have a little bit of data and they'll be like, oh, there's more to explore here. But I really wish I would have just like I said, written down the shit I encountered, because then I would like to be able to review that information.
Yeah,
I wish there were audio logs and you could
Well,
go
yes.
back and listen to them.
That's what I'm saying, Brad. That's what I want. I want the ability to either reread or, yes, I would prefer audio logs. I think that would be good. Or listen to the things you've encountered before. I understand them not being audio logs just because they're like the symbols on the walls you're interacting with.
Which are really cool. By the
No,
way.
I like that. It's a cool concept. Like decrypting whatever the stuff. But yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying it. I'm just currently at that point where like I don't really know what to do, and I don't know the best way to go about kind of finding the next thing to do.
How much would you say how many hours did you put into this so far?
I don't know. I can't look it up on Steam.
Oh, yeah.
Conservative estimate maybe 5, 6.
Okay, because it wasn't until about like the 8-hour, 10-hour mark, which is kind of where I am at right now, where I started to kind of like feel a more natural progression and started to feel like I knew what I was doing and I had more confidence and I felt like I had a better grasp on everything that was going on at once.
Sure.
So I was starting to make specific plans every time I would like start a new loop.
Yeah.
You just got to keep exploring. I mean,
I know.
There are some things on like one planet that might give you info on how something on another planet might work. Sort of.
And also there's a lot of things that part of the beauty of this game, it really is just like that magic, that feeling of magic when you figure out something. Like, it doesn't expressly tell you how anything
No,
works.
it doesn't.
It's like the opposite of Dragon Quest Builders.
Yeah, exactly. But like that feeling is kind of like
No,
unlike
I
anything
agree
else.
and understand, and getting stuck to that black hole and then ending up at that other place and then realizing I could like warp back out of there, and now I have this like little like tablet with me and taking that tablet to places and so don't get me wrong, like I've been enjoying it. I just really I need to I need to have a fucking notebook and jot down notes to remind myself of the shit I've encountered and shit I need to do.
I feel like they're so like every planet is really cool and unique in its own way. It kind of makes me wish there were more of them.
Oh yeah,
when you look at the
that
solar
is the
system-
other thing is I definitely found that I wish there was a lot more, because all of a sudden I've realized I've been to like every single planet but one already.
Yeah.
And I wish there was a little
There's
bit
a
more.
lot of cool stuff to explore
Yeah.
on those planets, but in fact, there's only probably like 6 or 7
Sure.
of them total.
But like for someone who thought this was just like, I thought this was because it was indie that this was just going to be like a pretty straightforward walking
Oh
simulator.
yeah.
Like it's definitely
lot
not
more
that.
than that.
And maybe it's not as big as obviously a big budget game, but it is a lot more than I was ever expecting.
Definitely.
For a little story driven indie game.
Yeah.
I mean, this game's really cool.
It is.
It's been a while since I played it, and I did not, I'm probably got as far as you are now, Nolan, and now I'm afraid to like go back to it. I kind of just feel like maybe I should.
I think it's easier to pick
I
back up
don't
than you're
I don't think
expecting.
you need to restart, but I think
Well,
honestly,
it's not really a restarting style of game, but I feel like I need to reread everything that I've read.
I think you can get enough like just kind of the gist of everything from reading the notebook, like that should be enough to familiarize yourself with it again, that you'll be comfortable just jumping back into it. Which I feel like is like half the purpose of that notebook. It's less about actually helping you figure stuff out and more about just like reminding you what you did last time. That way you don't end up putting it down permanently. But who knows?
Oh, great. More reading.
More
If I wanted
reading.
to read, I'd just go fucking buy a book.
Yeah,
Like
the only game the only video game that we talked about tonight that has voice acting came out in 2000. That's strange. Yeah, I
Dude,
straight
so
up.
many times I've died.
Dude.
Like, you didn't even die. So, you did. No,
I
so
did,
there was
yes.
no. It was I remember one of the first times I died. It was on the twin planets, and it was after the first one, or like the one of them, it started filling with sand. So I went to the other one, and it's kind of like a big circle. There's
Yeah.
that path, and so I was trying to get to the next path before the sand came and got me. And so I ran, I boosted, and I went a little too high, and I if I would have been like 6 inches lower, I would have gone through. But instead, I smacked the top of the doorway and just dead.
Oh man,
Dude, so some of those moments are fun when you're all of a sudden just like, what?
And you just overshoot something.
Yeah.
Get sucked into the sun.
Yep.
comical is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Those moments are,
I wonder, like, I really
enjoyable.
wonder what came first, if it was, like, the idea of the loop or the space exploration. And I wonder if, like, maybe they were like, well, let's do, like, a really hardcore, like, physics-based space exploration sim. And then they found that they were just, like, constantly,
Yeah,
getting
dying.
into these situations where they're like, well, I'm adrift forever. Or, like, I just keep getting sucked into the sun. Or I keep drowning in the fucking ocean world. And they're like, well, maybe if we just, like, put it on a loop So if you died, like
That would be fast. I would be really interested to find out the answer to that because I bet it. I bet one of those features wasn't in there at the very beginning.
Game development is weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're playing it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good.
Is there any other small games we want to mention? I think that's pretty much it on the dock as far as impressions
I've
go this
played.
week.
No,
Chris
you're
Chris Davis, you didn't put anything on the dock, but what you got?
What's up, Chris?
I didn't put anything
Davis?
on the dock because I didn't want to make a presence topic about it, but I put a few hours into They Are Billions.
Right.
Which is the RTS city builder / zombie survival game that recently came out at 1.0 and has a 60-hour campaign to it. And after just a couple hours, I have stopped playing that game and I've uninstalled it.
What?
He uninstalled it.
Are
I
you doing the
uninstalled.
campaign or the survival mode?
I was doing the campaign.
Okay, everyone says
Because
the
the
campaign is
campaign-
awful and that you should just play survival mode.
Like
almost universal.
Survival is definitely where it's at, but I'm intrigued by the campaign because there's multiple maps and different branching paths of what you do along your campaign, and it has a tremendous tech tree for unlocking and upgrading your units and doing all sorts of stuff.
I feel like there's a big butt coming.
The real problem comes with the game is the fact that it's built in sort of a semi-roguelike structure when you play a map, because you can't save and load a mission. So if you fuck up, you have to restart that entire map. So you've lost like half an hour's progress. An hour's progress doesn't matter. You've lost everything because one tiny little thing went wrong.
Well,
One
don't fuck
tiny
up,
building got
dog.
infected. One
There's
tiny
no
zombie you
reloading
didn't
in zombie
see out of the corner of your
apocalypses.
screen walks in and attacks a villager, which snowballs, and you fucking lose so easily, especially early on. in
What
the
is this
game,
game
so.
called? There Are Billions?
They are billions.
They are billions.
Yeah, it's got a striking look because
Yeah.
when
No,
there's like
yeah.
so many zombies on
Yeah,
screen.
it definitely
Yeah.
does. It caught my eye when I
Crazy.
first saw
Yeah.
it, but thankfully I didn't go too much farther into it because I've been hearing
Oh.
some not great things.
If you have a save and load system in that game, boom, I will
Well, I feel
come
like
back
it's,
to the
I
game
feel like
straight
that's
away.
probably like it's just a matter of time before they patch something like that in. 'Cause it seems
I
like
wouldn't be surprised.
seems like a
Maybe,
pretty
I don't
important
know.
feature to leave out.
Yeah.
This does look pretty cool though. Like
Yeah, it's $30 on Steam. So if you get
$30
past the
bucks.
save system,
That's a
you're
good price, Nick.
That's
Yeah,
a pretty
for a
good
game like
price,
this.
Nick.
sorry, I don't know where that reaction came from.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love $30 games. That's like
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Most of those are more worth it than $60 games.
Wasn't Subnautica $30?
Yes, Subnautica is $30.
That is correct. Subnautica was $30. Has anybody picked up that expansion for Subnautica yet?
Is this
Nope.
not out yet? Well, it's
Uh,
not in
Oh,
early
it's
access
It's
yet.
early access.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're
early
right.
access.
Sorry,
Early
I completely
access.
forgot about that. I am going to do this.
I am waiting.
I am going to wait because that made Subnautica one of the best experiences of the year for me by doing that. Anyways,
There's penguins.
there are penguins, space penguins. All right, so that kind of, like I said, we don't have a ton of impressions tonight, so we'll go ahead and call it there on impressions. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do our top 5 games of the year so far. Little top 5 video game podcast going on in the second segment. And then we'll read some questions from our supporters on Patreon and do the supporter spotlight and all that jazz. So if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. What a way to bring back the show. Welcome back, guys. We are now going to kick off the second segment. As I mentioned earlier, we usually do this around the halfway mark throughout the year, right? It's July, so we're a little late, but we're going to do our top 5 games of the year so far.
So far.
And we're going to go, we're each going to go around the room, say our number 5 or number 4. Brad never puts these things in order until it's like the last possible
I will
second.
say this is in order, but it's not like the order is not like so serious.
Well, nothing's set in
especially
stone.
because nothing's set in stone. Of
We're
course,
only halfway
But
through
I-
the year.
I-
Nolan, are you ready to start? I should
He's
have
ready.
double checked.
me. No,
I also-
I'm working.
Oh,
he'll go last. I also want to say there's a bunch of games that I started that I'm really enjoying that I've just sort of not finished or put down.
Yeah.
like Sekiro.
I mean, there's
like
no
Outer
reason.
Wilds.
There's nothing that says
Yeah.
like
Games
you
we haven't
can't put
gotten
games we
to.
haven't finished or
Yeah.
anything on here. So
Correct.
by all means,
So with that, I'm gonna start with a banger. And again, this order my number 1, my number 2, maybe those are in the right place, but this one, whatever. Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Wow.
All right.
Resident Evil 2 make, if you will.
Wow.
I can't wait for Resident Evil 3 make.
Which, maybe I should have left this off for something more interesting, because I'm sure other people are going to bring it up, namely Nicholas.
Well, spoiler alert, yes, I'm going to mention this on my list for sure.
That's cool.
But this is one of the few games I actually finished. But you know what? Maybe we'll bring it up when you talk about it. My number 5 is Baba Is You.
Wait, you can't...
I just did it.
Wait, but was that an honorable mention, or are you now moving on to your number 4?
No, my number 5
He's
is Baba
changing his number 5.
Is
Okay.
You, which is a really
There we
clever puzzle game where the puzzle pieces, the blocks, if you will, that you move around are the words that are creating the rules by which you interact with the puzzle. So, for example, Baba Is You is literally like a sentence that's in the environment that you can move around the pieces of. So if you move Rock Is You, or if you like literally move the word rock in front of the sentence and push Baba out of the way, now it says Rock Is You, and now you're a fucking rock. It changed, the rules of the world. And that's just like the start. That's just scratching the surface.
It is one of the hardest concepts, I think, of all of like the games we've talked about so far this year. Like, just one of the hardest concepts to kind of wrap your head around.
Sort of. I mean, it sounds complicated when you're describing it, but as soon as you see it, like
it makes perfect sense.
It's like it's something that's simple to understand, I feel like, but like super hard to master. And this is a game that's like I have not finished. It's probably the hardest game I played this year, and I've actually played quite a few hard games. Because they keep throwing out like new, more complicated shit. When they introduce like the and or the float or whatever, it gets really complicated. But it's just a super inventive puzzle game. I've never really played anything like it. It's on the Switch, so I recommend it. Baba Is You has an ending. No one knows because no one's smart enough to finish Baba Is You.
It's a puzzle game. I feel like finishing it. It's not like a story, right? It's just kind of a thing you play challenge after challenge after challenge, right?
Well,
so,
there's like a world map, and there you can there's like branching paths. You can find like secret paths that will like take you to like secret hard challenging stages and stuff, and yeah, it's got like a world map, if you will, kind of like a Mario World style thing where you're kind of moving on through levels, and you can kind of
depending on how you beat certain levels, it can unlock other sections. So there are certain ones that you have to collect X amount of like finishes in certain ways to be able to unlock other paths and stuff.
Yeah.
It is a cool game. I remember when you talked about that.
It's
Watching
very
footage
creative, very nuts. Recommended, but be
really
prepared
cool concept.
to stare at your screen for
intensely.
I don't want to say gave up, but I got to a point where there were so many levels I was stuck on, I just couldn't do anything. And I'm not looking up solutions. There's obviously solutions online, but I'm trying my hardest. I've looked up one or two, and after I watched the solution, I just get even more mad because I'm like my brain never would have went there. I have no idea how many hours I would have spent on this level trying to even just get to that point. I kind of gave up. I don't know if I'm going to go back to it or not. It's a frustrating. It's a good game.
It's intimidating.
Very intimidating.
But maybe that's why it's my number 5, because I'm too stupid to finish it.
But that's okay because everybody is apparently.
But it's inventive.
Do we want to skip over you?
No, I'm good to go.
Okay. No.
My number 5 is Apex Legends.
Oh, that came out this year.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I spent a shit ton of time in this game, and one of the reasons it's lower on my list is because I've kind of fallen off its wagon.
There's a new
there's a new character out.
There's dinosaurs.
Yeah, they've added a lot of stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah, literally dinosaurs just roaming giant dinosaurs roaming the map and stuff.
Nobody told me about this.
Here we go. Getting the squad back together.
So yeah, like I said, one of the things that kind of similar to other games of this style is the best part about it is it's just playing with friends and stuff, getting a team together, getting a squad together, or even just playing with randos. There's been plenty of times I've met some actually really nice people. One of my biggest frustrations with this game though is when you complete either your team loses or your team wins. like y'all aren't together anymore. Your
Yeah.
squad is disbanded.
You're
And it's like, why? I wanted to play with that guy more. I liked that guy.
You'll never see each other ever again.
So that's one of my biggest frustrations. But other than that, I had a blast playing this game. You know, I have a handful of wins under my belt. Some that were us just hiding the whole match. Some that were us trying to find people the whole match. Some that were us like being a little more strategic and kind of, oh, I hear a firefight, and as soon as that firefight ends, that's when you go in because one team is wounded, the other team's down. Like you kind of trying to
Have they
plan it
added
out.
a second map yet, or is it still the same one with just new updates? To it?
I have not played since,
think it's
so
the
I don't
same
know.
map.
I believe it's the same one to my
And now
knowledge.
The other question
there's
is-
dinosaurs.
I mean, that's cool. The other question is like, this is obviously another one. This is another game. It's stepping into the same, stepping into the battle royale zone, right? So like, do we? What's the? I mean, I know you're not playing anymore, but like, the
Correct.
question is, does it have legs? Like, is it like, are we gonna be talking about Apex Legends in a year, or are we gonna be right back to talking about Fortnite again? Or I guess we're not talking about
Are
Fortnite.
we even talking about
I mean,
Apex?
I was more of like
Legends?
a broader like industry question.
I don't know. And like Gigamir in chat was saying, it does seem like there are a few less people now. I do think if they were to add another map, it would probably get more people back into it.
Yeah.
The only reason I've stopped playing, I probably would still be, is just the fact that I have so little time to game. Playing a multiplayer game is not something that I can just do because that's a lot of time. And
What about when Factions 2 comes out?
no,
No,
obviously, Brad, for a good solid year, I will play that constantly before like moving on to something else. But yeah, so like I said, I mean that's why it's my number 5. Is I had so much fun playing it with the community and just
I kind of want to play it now because there's dinosaurs in it.
dude, Nick, there's a lot
I've
of other
still to
reasons
this
to
day
play it
never
besides
played a
that.
battle royale game.
There's a lot of other reasons. I think the uniqueness of the characters and their abilities is a huge factor in this. I think like there's a guy who his ultimate is he spawns 7 clones of himself and then he turns invisible. There's just so many. There's one of my favorite characters is oh fuck, what is her name? I'm horrible with the names of the characters.
Lifeline,
No,
Gibraltar, or no?
no, the other one. Starts with like a D or a B or
It's one of the female characters.
yeah, she's a female. She so anyway, her special, like her kind of like passive ability is whenever you get shot at, you get faster, and that's one of my favorite fucking things.
I remember you
because
talking- that
even if
sounds
someone misses you, you all of a sudden get that speed boost, and so you just fucking can book it out of there. And her special, not her ultimate, but her special, she can shoot grenades that
She's such a
smoke
fucking
grenades.
dork. What is her name?
I don't know.
Chris,
Bangalore.
are you still
Thank
playing
you,
this game ever?
Prince.
No, not
Bangalore
really,
is
but-
her name.
Bangalore, but I really want
Yeah.
to get back into it.
Great fucking game.
Yeah, we.
Crispy.
I kind of.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 for this year is Deltarune,
Oh, that's the.
the follow-up to Undertale.
Thank you.
Yes,
Forgot that came out this year.
and technically just like the first chapter of a larger experience, I guess. But Deltarune was a lot of fun. I really liked it. It's still got that same kind of gameplay as Undertale, but I like the characters in this game more because unlike the first game, you have like a full party that you're doing this whole thing with, and those characters have a lot of heart to them, a lot of pathos, a lot of cheek, and watching them interact and like become friends is really fun. Especially Susie, who like is too good for friends in the beginning, but then by the end of it, you're like, oh, you're just a big softy, aren't you? Like, it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of heart, and I can't wait to.
Was that like was that game like part 1 of something?
Yeah.
Or like so?
Yeah.
There's
So like
gonna be more of it.
So like the entirety of the. I mean, yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, but the entirety of like the Deltarune game is very clearly like a part 1 of a larger game, because once you finish the 4 hours or whatever it is, 3 hours, 4 hours, it kind of like it's like leaving Midgar for the first time, like.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, my number 5 is a game we just talked about a minute ago, and I'm putting it my number 5 because I haven't finished it yet. It could very easily move up on my list quite dramatically, depending on how it goes. But Outer Wilds is still it's kind of like it's like you're peeling back layers of an onion, right? You're just moving through it, and it just keeps getting deeper, and you just keep finding out all kinds of new shit about it, and like, but there's also
cry.
it makes you cry. I haven't cried yet, but it could happen. You never know. But like,
why not like a parfait? Everyone likes parfaits, Nick.
sure. But yeah, like this game is just so creative and just kind of so out of left field, or I certainly didn't see it coming. I had so many preconceived notions about what this game actually was before I saw it or before I actually played it, and I was wrong, like pretty much across the board. It's way more in depth than that, than what I was expecting, and just that sense of discovery is pretty fascinating. It's also rekindling, like, it's scratching the same itch as something like No Man's Sky, but like in a totally different way.
I think it's that exploration, that kind of like leaving a planet and going somewhere else, and maybe kind of having an idea where you're going, but not really. But instead, No Man's Sky focuses on that kind of collection, you collecting things, but this is more about collecting information.
Yeah, and that's always really cool, and just kind of like the way it doesn't hold your hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it definitely does not hold your hand.
It's so cool. Like it's almost like one of the. I'll have to kind of wait and see how it pans out, but it feels like maybe one of the best like investigative games I've played.
Yeah. It's like
I remember. I think I always think of playing stuff like Batman Arkham Knight or whatever, and I think about like, oh, there's some really cool detective moments in that game, but it's kind of like it's all very handholdy and like it doesn't really let you figure stuff out.
Yeah.
It kind of points things out to you and stuff, and this game is like so not that. It is just
you almost
like
feel like a space archaeologist.
Yeah, like
kind
even
of.
when you discover things in this game and you're like you trigger something and something happens, it doesn't say
you don't know what that
congratulations,
means.
you've triggered this and it caused this to happen. You're just like, oh, I did something and I caused
Something
it to
happened.
happen. It's just kind of like, what did I do? How did I do that?
It's very
How do I do that again?
It's almost
Yeah.
scientific. Like you're
Like there was one thing I was doing I did something on the stream and something happened. I was like, what the fuck? And I couldn't get it to happen again. And someone in chat was like, it happened when you did this. And I was like, no way. And then I did it again. I was like, holy shit. Like, it didn't like pop up a message saying, congratulations, you've done this. Like,
I feel like
that's
this
fucking
game could be maybe enhanced with a little bit of light backseating.
I think a little bit of guidance, a little bit of
guidance.
Yeah, I don't think that could hurt.
It doesn't
could
find
be a little.
I don't
may not-
want someone to tell me what to. So one of the first things I was kind of confused early on, and so I tried to I was like, oh, what are some tips for Outer Wilds?
Yeah,
I kind of
maybe that
googled
would
it.
be better.
Dude, no. All that comes up is this is how you do this, and this is this secret, and this is that. There's no like, hey, if you're looking for some tips for Outer Wilds, do this. No, it's just all this is how you like figure stuff out.
I'm pretty sure Jason Schreier wrote a thing because he's like in love with the game, and he wrote a short article that's like, here's things I didn't know about Outer Wilds when I first started playing it that I wish I knew.
Okay, that's kind of what I was looking for.
I feel like I read that thing. It's been a few weeks, but
I might
I'm pretty
look
sure
into
that's
that.
worth picking up and reading.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game is just delightful. I'm really looking forward to playing more of it. And it's like every time I talk about it and I think about it, I start remembering like, fuck, why am I not playing this right now?
It's really good.
It's pretty fucking cool. All right, Brad, what's your number 4
My
game of
number
2019
4
so far?
is Wargroove.
Ooh.
This is a indie
cuts.
game that is very much a spiritual successor, or spiritual successor to Advance Wars, but with a fantasy setting. Instead of bombers, there's dragons, that sort of thing. And
Ballistas and
yeah.
like magic,
like your
and
anti-air. Yeah, it's
one of your commanders is a dog.
one of your
course.
commanders is a dog. There's been a lot of Advance Wars clones, I think, over the years, and I've always kind of been like, it doesn't quite get it right. Wargroove is an Advance Wars that definitely gets it right, and it's challenging, and
It's definitely
I find it
challenging.
like incredibly rewarding because Advance Wars was quite challenging.
Does it make the pain of not having an Advance Wars easier?
A little bit. I mean, not completely.
Only slightly.
But a little bit, like, because this really does feel like Advance Wars. I almost kind of forget that I'm not playing an Advance Wars game when I'm playing it. Kind of like another game that I'm going to talk about later. It's one of I think the strengths of this game is that there really is they made a genuine effort to really mix up like mission objectives with like map variety, and there's all these like side missions that you can do, and everyone feels like really very different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they definitely
and
are.
you worry in like a strategy game or a tactics game that there's not going to be enough variety in like what you're doing in any given battle. Like I think the Fire Emblem series has run into like lately, in the past decade, a lot of their games have like really kind of like boring map designs or objective designs. But like Advance Wars has always been like really creative with map designs, and this game has that.
That's what I was gonna say, Brad. While Advance Wars have creative map designs, I don't think there was enough variety in the battle to battle. I think you were often using the same units and the same. Only thing that kind of changed things with the commanders. Whereas I think in Wargroove, often in battles when you're doing those one-offs, you're not one of them. You're like a side character. You're playing as a different. You're playing as like the enemy fighting these people instead, and so it completely changes. While the units will be similar, I think it changes it enough that it makes it unique.
Yeah,
and especially how the commander is a presence on the battlefield, and how you can either it's because it's one of the scenarios where if you kill the commander, that's game over.
It's game over.
It's one of your strongest units, and so it's that kind of do I push them out farther to finish off this unit, or I bring them back?
And then there's like immediately a tension of like, did I push him too far?
Yep.
Is he going to get swarmed? And like that sort of push pull is like really unique to this game and a really great aspect. But I will say. A lot of people I think tried this game when it first came out and they were like, oh, this is really tough.
Yes. That was me.
They have since like patched the game with a pretty significant patch, and I want to just point this out because
I would not say patch, Brad. I would say that they've to an extent overhauled a large like way the battles work and how a lot of it works.
So I will say the big thing though is that now. Like that default difficulty when the game came out, now that is hard difficulty, and there are difficulty options when you start the game. Also, they introduced a mid-mission save,
which is
that
life-changing.
You can set whenever you want, and when you die, you can restore to that point, but you have to kind of choose when to like set it. So it's the kind of thing of like
want a mission.
Yeah, you're not gonna like save after every turn because you might get to a point where you can't really win that battle, and if you reload that save, you might be in a situation where you can't really fight your way out of. So it's kind of like getting to the point where you feel really strong, really like ready to like maybe execute some like riskier maneuvers, then maybe set your save there.
Well, because the problem with that game is those matches weren't 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're long.
They were an hour.
Yeah,
and when you're like an hour into a battle and you make one wrong move and then you're fucked, and it's like, well, got to start all over again.
But see, so Gigamir was saying like accidentally confirming single moves that could ruin 45 minutes of progress is really lame. But like, it's like Fire Emblem. That conversation of like, do I play with permadeath or without permadeath? Having that tension makes you play the game differently.
No, but I think.
But
what
remember,
Gigamir is saying is there's like so many times playing Wargroove, I accidentally confirmed a movement or an action when I didn't mean to, and you can't take that back.
I see what you're saying.
And you could be fucked because I didn't mean to do this. It completely changes my turn this round. Now I can't. My strategy won't work anymore because this unit won't kill this one. And so that was a big pain point for me playing that game.
I mean, that's
because
like XCOM or
on a dozen occasions I accidentally confirmed something I didn't mean to.
Yeah, but now I said mission saves and difficulty options. Definitely go back to it. Also, the online is great. They have asynchronous multiplayer. You can kind of take your turn, then send it to a bunch of friends, have multiple games going at once. All the map creator, campaign creator, all that stuff is like this package is so full that I feel like if an Advance Wars game came out and it didn't have all of this stuff, it would feel really lacking. That's how impressive of an indie release this is. It's kind of remarkable.
Cool. All right, Nolan, what's your number
spending
4?
too long on each
Yeah,
game.
we probably do need to speed it a
hurry
little
this
bit.
up. All right, my number 4 is probably on Brad's list.
Probably.
Slay the Spire.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that's
Someone
higher
else.
on Brad's list.
Probably.
This is a game that I did not get as addicted to as Brad, but it's a great fucking game, man. It has that addictive loop that you just want to get the next. You want to play the next fight. You want to get the next cards. You want to upgrade them. You want to get to the next campfire, and you just keep going. And it's just like ooh, and then you'll get super powerful, and then you fight a boss, and it's like fuck, I didn't plan this out properly, and I died. But it's similar to Wargroove. But when I lose in Slay the Spire, I don't feel the same pain because obviously it's a roguelike,
Yeah,
and so it's just like, well, let me just spin it up again, try again. Let me try this other character. Let me try.
Kind of suck if you have like a really sweet.
Well,
deck
if you do
build.
have if you got a sweet build going, yeah, when you lose it sucks. But then there's often times where I've kind of been, a few fights in, I'm like, fuck this, I don't like how this is going. I'm just gonna restart.
Oh, I never do that.
Really?
Just because
Me neither.
you'd be surprised.
I do.
Shit can like turn
No,
around.
I know
dude.
it can.
Like I had a run where too nitty gritty.
Yeah, I agree.
Slay the Spire's great. We'll talk about it.
We'll probably
pretty
talk about it
great.
again.
We'll probably talk about it 2 more times if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
You've been playing it?
Crispy, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm really into it. I mean, this is just based on all of the games that I feel like I've put a significant amount of time into to
Sure.
see
Yeah.
whether or not I like it. There haven't been that many this year, but I have already put several hours into Dragon Quest Builders 2, and I'm already like I'm thinking about it when I'm not playing it,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
has been kind of rare for me this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So that's a great sign.
If you want to hear our impressions of it, go back to podcast 607, I think it
Yeah.
was.
Just rewind,
We talk about
like 30
Dragon
minutes
Quest
or an
Builders
hour.
2.
I do really want to play this game.
What's your number 4, Nick?
I can't add another game to my damn list, but it sounds pretty dope.
Sure you can.
Uh,
You've got half a year,
Actually,
Nick.
you can, Nick.
Fucking kill me. My number 4 is Metro Exodus.
Damn.
I've thought about playing that.
You should play it. I think the one reason I really like it, aside from it does all the things that Metro has always done really well. The atmosphere and everything is fantastic, and the story is pretty cool. But like, it's also like a really great example of a game that's like a great compromise between open world game design and like linear game design, because it's basically, instead of being one giant open map, it's like chapters separated into chapters, and each chapter is like its own mini open world. So you can spend like 10 hours exploring this open world environment, and then by the time you start to feel like burnt out on that environment, you're changing gears and moving on to the next area, and it's like a whole new fucking thing. And every chapter feels very distinct and very different, because it's also, aside from moving across the country and going to different parts of the country, it's also changing seasons. So like, you start out the game in winter, and the next season you're in spring, and it's just a totally different vibe than the last one. And they introduce new like enemy types and stuff at each one of these places, and it just kind of like shuffles everything around, mixes everything up, so that every 10 hours it starts to kind of feel like a fresh experience.
That's good.
Which is really cool. And like I said, on top of that, it just does like all that really great storytelling and world building, and it's cool, man. It's really cool.
Heard it has a lot of heart.
Yeah, that's a word I would use for sure.
My number 3 is Supraland.
Ew.
Supraland, the land of the Toyota Supra.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a weird name.
It's the
It's
one
a weird
starring
game.
Gumby.
That is a really weird
The
name.
one starring Gumby.
Kind
Fuck
of.
you, Nick.
That name.
You know
is
what this
not a
game
good
is?
name.
This game is Metroid Prime meets Portal.
Wow.
In the best way possible.
That sounds so stupid.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's not. This game's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
This
Okay,
game's so fucking
yes,
good.
that is an example of what I was talking about on recent podcasts. But it is a Metro open world 3D kind of Metroidvania, much like Metroid Prime, and with a heavy emphasis on puzzle solving.
I think it's an excellent, like Brad was saying, combination. First of all, a 3D open world Metroidvania is hard enough on its own.
You don't see a
But
lot
adding
of
in those like that puzzle solving mechanic adds it to that next level. And it's one of those situations where in Metroid games or in what's the
Metroidvania?
yeah, I was trying to think
Metroid
of,
Prime?
I was trying to think of
RPG.
Shadow Complex as an example. You come
2.5D.
you come across a red door.
Guns.
And it's like, well, I can't do this until later.
Metroidvania.
Whereas in Superland, you don't come across a red door. You can see everything. You can see things you can't interact with, and it's like, I don't
Persistent
know
world.
what I'm missing. Hold on, let me mute Crispy real quick. I don't know what I'm missing to be able to interact with this thing yet, and I know at some point I will. And it got to the point where so often, every time I got some new ability or something, I would go back to areas I've already been in. Like, oh, can I interact with this thing yet? Can I do something to interact with these new things or do like whatever? And that it's kind of like similar to when we were talking about with any War Groove or whatever, that drive to keep going. Yeah. Like I never wanted to put down.
We call that addiction.
This game is really addictive.
Oh,
it
definitely.
is because you're constantly getting upgrades, and the exploration is really rewarding. It's a game that it has thought about all the different angles, and when you find a way to like maybe even sequence break, I feel there's a lot of sequence breaking
multiple times
in this game to get up to an area you're like, I'm not supposed to be up here, and there's a fucking chest to reward that, and I love that feeling. Like the exploration's great, the puzzle solving, legitimately some head scratchers in
Wasn't
this
this
game.
created by one guy?
One guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kickstarting the sequel,
Is
which
it
has
like-
met its goal.
I know we
Which
talked about this back
There's a stretch goal that's voice acting, but it's so high they're never going to reach
Oh
it.
yeah.
I know we talked about this when we first talked about the game on the show, but like, is it just on kind of a broad level? Is it like buggy, or is it like a pretty smooth
No.
Not really,
experience?
dude. No, it's
that's
not.
the thing, man. Like, this is a game
I
where,
think
where you look at some footage of it and you're like, what is this
It
fucking
looks like a baby
asset
game.
flip bullshit? But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, this is like the game that can be so easily underestimated.
100%.
This game is like a very deep, lengthy, like
Girth.
challenging, rewarding, like open world, puzzle driven Metroidvania. It's
Yeah.
and it's satisfying to like get these upgrades, and some of the upgrades are like fucking good. And I'm pretty sure that the developer watches our podcast, because in a patch they reduced the volume of the double jump, which is a very specific complaint that I had.
Yes. No, I agree. It was pretty loud.
Yeah. Which is a very specific complaint that I had and I brought up on the podcast, and it's like
Isn't he German?
I think it's a German
Yeah.
developed game. But like,
It's a great
don't
fucking
sleep
game.
on Superland.
Seriously,
I'm telling
this
you.
this is not one
This
to
sounds
skip.
like
It's
sounds
not
like
one
one
to
I
skip.
should probably try at least.
Yes, it is. It is so fucking good.
Nolan, what's your number 3?
Shit, I'm not ready. Hold on.
Oh, that
My
was
last-
mine. I thought.
Yeah, that was your 3. My number 3 is Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice.
That's also my number 3.
nice. Dude, great fucking game, man. It's one of
You
those.
finished
things-
it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Hard game, not
Hard
easy.
as hard as nails, man.
yes.
I
It's
need to
just-
go back to it
Because
because that would easily be on my fucking list.
Oh, definitely.
I chose not to.
I had a great time playing it. I had a great time. I streamed it a few times.
It is
found
intimidating. Like, there's so many times that I was like, man, all right, I finished a game. What am I playing next? And I look at my shelf. And I'm
You
like,
see Sekiro sitting
Sekiro's
there.
sitting right there. Or I could replay The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Dude, it's worth it, man. Like I said, it is tough. There are definitely optional stuff you don't have to do. There are many times one of those situations where I'm fucking gripping my controller and kind of twisting it in frustration because there's some stupid fucking boss I can't kill.
But it's so snappy and responsive.
Oh, yeah.
That, even sure, there's been a few times where I gotten frustrated because it's like, it's a Souls game. It happens with any game. But I stopped on a boss that apparently is like a third way through the game or whatever, and even though I spent like an hour and a half trying to beat that guy, yeah, I didn't really actively say, all right, I'm putting this down for a while. It was just something was coming out I really wanted to play, and I was like, I'm gonna stop for now. But I wasn't super frustrated. I didn't throw my controller and say, fuck this game, I'm not playing it. I was like, I can do this. I can fucking do this. And I'm going to do it this weekend.
Dude, it's good. Pick it back
That's
up.
my plan.
It's just not as addictive as a Souls game because it's not really an RPG. So when you
It's
come
definitely
across
not an RPG.
like
I
a
agree with you
roadblock,
on
like
that.
usually a boss or like a mini boss, you just got to keep throwing yourself at it till you figure it out.
there's a
I almost
few-
like that more.
There's
and
a
I
few
know that makes
scenarios, Brad, where later on in the game where you can kind of avoid stuff. You can take a different path and not go down this one.
No, for sure.
But
for
yes,
sure.
there are multiple
But I mean, you
times
can't go like
where you
level
get,
up.
That's not necessarily true. You can to an
I
extent.
mean, there are things you can grind for, just not levels.
No. You to an extent you can grind for. I mean, you get the experience when you kill things, and you get money, and then you can use those things to improve your stats and stuff. There's the estate place. That's a really good place. Once you get good enough, you can do a run through that place pretty fucking quick. Get a shit ton of experience, especially if you pop a balloon to get the experience. And then so the trick there is you leave all the money and items on the ground,
And then you go back and get it.
and then you pop the balloon for the items and money, and then you run back and
What are we talking about?
Sekiro.
Shadows Die Twice. It's a good fucking game.
Crispy's here.
That's my number 3.
What's your number 3?
No, I'm just.
Crispy?
Wait, are we?
We're talking about the balloon
What are we
item that you
doing?
pop.
What are we doing? We're getting.
Yeah, we're getting in the
We're
weeds
getting.
a little bit.
We're getting real granular. My number 3 here is Apex Legends.
Nice.
I
I've
knew it was
talked
going to come up
about it.
again.
I really like that game. The Wingman, fucking bam bam.
Wingman's pretty good.
Love it.
It's all about
Love
that
it.
Mozambique, though, Crispy.
The Mozambique here.
I don't get it.
Shit. You know what? They're like apparently gonna buff the Mozambique.
I heard
so
they
it
are.
might actually be able to kill people.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Dying to a
Mozambique's
Mozambique.
piece of trash.
Oh, okay.
It's a shotgun pistol that has 3 rounds, and if you like unload all 3 rounds into someone's head, they still don't die.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the one
Wow.
from Halo 3?
I will
the
walk
shotgun
around
It's a
punching.
BB gun,
I will
basically.
walk around punching people if I find a
It'll, like,
Mozambique.
almost
I will
kill
not
them?
pick the. I will not pick it up.
It basically, like, if you use a Mozambique, you're gonna die.
Yes.
What was the shotgun pistol from Halo 3?
The like the Covenant one?
No, the Brute one. The
Yeah,
Brute shotgun
They're
pistol.
part of the Covenant, man. I don't remember what it was called, but it had like 2 blades on the front of it. It wasn't
The
called a
Mauler.
Mozambique.
Mauler.
Yeah, the Mauler.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, what's your number 3?
Sekiro. Mine was Sekiro.
Oh,
Yeah, what are you talking about?
My number 2 is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh,
Brad,
Which-
that is also my number 2.
Oh,
Which,
no.
surprise, I was not expecting this to be as good as it was. I
Neither
mean,
was I.
Just because...
I think you were preparing yourself for the worst.
I
in
was
fact.
preparing
That's
myself for the
definitely, yeah.
worst. But there was more... This game
You were pretty doom and
contains
gloom.
multitudes. I was just not expecting this game to be as meaty in the things that I want out of an Igavania.
Yes.
Succulent and juicy.
Succulent and juicy. I played this game
Savory.
for 50 fucking hours.
It scratches all the right
which
itches.
I don't think
man,
I've ever played in a single run of an Igavania game
for that long.
for that long.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a testament of just how much shit there is to
It
do
is.
and how much grit how much nitty there is to grit, how much grit there is to nitty,
How much grit to
Sure.
how much grit to knit in this game, Nick. It's wonderful.
I don't know
Like
how
it's
to
absolutely
interpret
wonderful.
that.
I honestly think it's one of the best Igavanias, probably because I mean, it's a little ugly. And it's a little rough around the
It
edges.
doesn't look
There's a
like
lot of
poop
bugs.
anymore, Brad.
There's a lot of bugs.
Unless you
Doesn't
play it
look
on
like
Switch,
poop
it looks
anymore.
like poop.
It still looks like
It runs like.
I mean,
It looks
sorry.
great on the
It's
PS4.
sorry. It looks like poop on the Switch, is what I meant to say.
It looks like a more solid poop as opposed to just diarrhea,
Just
which is
like
what it looked like
really-
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really solid poop.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I have to say about this game, Brad?
Fibrous poop.
What?
Arise, myself and my shadow.
Fuck that.
I probably heard that phrase a good 1,000 times in my playthrough of this game. No, but yes, I agree with you. Like I said, that's my number 2 as well. Fantastic fucking game.
Yeah.
The music is good. That itch is there every time I get a new weapon. I'm like, ooh, let me try this one out. Maybe I do want to go whips. Maybe hold on, I do have the I have
Yeah.
the
Some
shard that
weapons,
makes
all
whips
the
stronger.
techniques, so many
And just
shards.
trying out all the different dude, like just every time I interact with somebody, like always trying to go and find the doing quests for people. I actually didn't mind doing quests in this game. The lady's like, "Oh, make me some curry," and I'm like,
I mean,
"Oh,
you
let me
don't
go find
really-
the ingredients for curry."
Yeah.
Like, there's just like there's so often, and then every time, like Brad mentioned on the podcast before, every time I find a new enemy, I'm like, "All right, I'm just gonna keep killing this guy until I see what he drops because it's gonna be
Because
something
the
good."
rewards are always worthwhile.
Some
And,
of
and
them
like
are real
you
fun.
get out of that game what you put into it, and you could literally play this game and be done with it in like 12 hours and still have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could play it for 50 hours and still not feel like you've done everything.
It's crazy.
And that's
You're the latter.
Cray.
Really good fucking game.
And while it was a bit too easy because of the way I played it specifically,
What way did you play that made it easy?
Without pants on.
Like
just
like a Metroidvania.
like obsessive.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Like it's Symphony
I
of the
fought the
Night.
final.
Oh
I
no,
killed the final
no,
boss in
no,
seconds.
yeah, I agree with you there. That by the time I got to the final boss, like I killed him faster than I killed like previous bosses because yes, I was way overloaded.
I
It's
don't
like-
even know what some of the bosses did. But the thing is, I plan to play hard mode.
Yeah,
with,
that'll make it better.
With one of the other characters that will release as DLC, and famously those don't really have all the RPG elements typically that like the main character Miriam would have.
Hold on, Gigamir. He says people who ended up loving Bloodstained are probably the same ones who ignored Chasm. We both played and loved Chasm.
We all
I think
played Chasm.
everybody on
Everyone
this
here
couch
played and
Chasm.
loved Chasm.
And we're among the more like ardent supporters of that game
Yeah.
compared to the
I guess so.
unwashed masses.
I really like Chasm. I really like Chasm. Honestly, for some of the same reasons I like.
They have very
Igavanians.
similar feels.
A lot of people fucking hated Chasm, and I really enjoyed that.
Chasm's probably one of the more faithful, quote unquote, Igavanias out
Yes.
there.
Chasm's
I
one of
agree.
those games that I forgot what it was. I took a day off of work for something. I don't even not related to Chasm, and I think I was intending to play something else all day. and I ended up playing Chasm all day instead.
Nice.
That game is
Crispy,
delightful.
you're number
delightful.
2.
My number 2 game is a little ditty that we've already mentioned
About
called
Jack and Diane? Oh,
Slay the Spire.
Nice.
There it is.
It's a really good game.
Yeah, you like that?
It's roguelike meets deck building meets,
All right,
fun stuff.
I'm gonna get a lot of. So this is y'all have talked about this game for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen Brad play it, and I swear to God, every time I look at Brad's Switch or I see it on the stream or I see a screenshot of it, I think it's the same screenshot. Ever. I feel like I've never seen
Nick,
this game.
I will say that similar.
Yeah, it's pretty much like.
Slay the Spire?
Well, yeah, you're in combat, so you're on the left, the enemies are on the right, and there's a bunch of cards on the bottom.
It's
yes,
a deck
that's
game.
that's fucking
gotta look at the
98% of the
hand.
game.
I know. This is
You're
just me.
fucking
This is me
plebe.
being one of the unwashed masses right now. Okay.
Oh, like what I'm really excited about with this game is it's doing well. People are like enjoying it. It's a really cool system, so like people are gonna start riffing on it. There's already one coming out from Clay called the
Yeah, that's right. Shit.
Badlands. It's not Badlands.
No, what was that? We saw it at E3. They
Something Lands.
Oh fuck!
I have no idea. What
It's the
you're
one where
talking
you're like going into like a tavern
Blightlands
or
or some
whatever,
shit.
and like
Yeah. Like they show not just like combat encounters.
Yeah, there's, like,
using the deck
story
system. There
and
was
stuff
also
like-
like
about.
social encounters.
Yeah,
And it had like that Clay like
Chat,
art
help
style
us.
to it.
Yeah, you're like using cards for like
Griftlands,
conversation.
that's what it's
Griftlands.
called.
There you
There's
go.
like conversations
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
too. where
Yeah,
you're
so
using-
like I'm really excited to try that game, and I just know that there's probably going to be a bunch of other like kind of, twists and variations on this sort of mechanics. Plus, it's going to be really exciting to see if they put new heroes in the game, which I'm sure they will at some point.
there's there's one coming, I think,
That's
and
awesome.
that is so incredibly exciting for me.
Yeah.
It's like
Because they each
All right,
play
so-
really differently.
Nick, you're
Nick,
number 2.
you're number 2.
My number 2 is Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Wow.
Oh, how appropriate!
Whoa! It's on the books.
Damn.
I know.
It's on the books.
No,
Resident
I-
Evil 2 Remake is his number 2.
No,
I
take
know what-
backsies.
I know.
Oh, his new favorite series of all time.
Fuck off.
No, take
I know what-
backsies.
Oh shit! I wasn't expecting this.
Calm yourself, Brad. We'll get there.
His number 2.
Resident Evil 2 Remake is one of the greatest remakes I've ever seen of anything in my life. It is fucking phenomenal. It improves on almost every aspect of the classic gameplay in every conceivable way, and of course, it throws in the fucking Mr. X in a way that was like
Yeah.
completely mind blowing. Like, it's so weird thinking about like all the stuff, like watching the footage of that game leading up to release, and somehow on the day of release, I still was caught off guard by
Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Yeah.
Like, I knew he was in the game. I knew that he was terrifying, but I didn't know that he could burst through doors and follow you everywhere.
Yup.
So like,
good.
there's
Like,
no
that
such
game's
thing
good.
as feeling safe really in that game. There's a few small exceptions. There's a few rooms I can remember. I was like, oh, he can't come in here. But for the most part, it is like just trying to sneak around the police station and avoid him at all costs, and also using your
Yeah.
ear to like hear his footsteps, and like I could be like about to walk through a door, and it's like, do I hear? Is he? I think. Oh
Yeah,
fuck!
those
And then I
studs.
had to just turn around and book it the other way because he was about to come through the door from the other side. Like, that shit's great. It almost makes you forget about the zombies, and the zombies themselves are terrifying. Like, that shit's so good, man. That game is so fucking good, and I'm so glad it was so well received, because it bodes really well for the future of this. Not only the future of the series, like new installments in the series, but also like we're obviously gonna get a remake of Resident Evil 3,
Probably.
and like
Obviously.
I can't even imagine. I can't fucking imagine. Sorry, I'll leave it at that. That game's so fucking good. Also, it looks amazing.
So that's your
Brad,
number two.
what's your
That's my
number
number two.
1?
My number 1 is Devil May Cry 5.
Go fuck
You're
yourself.
lying.
That's my number 1 as well.
Go fuck yourself.
Nick
It's Slay the
isn't lying.
Spire.
It's Slay the Spire. This is
No
I
one
mean,
saw that coming.
Look, I played 180 hours on PC.
Jesus Christ.
Now I'm over 40 hours on the Switch version. Look,
It's Brad's
That is
division.
I'm about to say, that's some division numbers right there.
this is it.
No, it's not. Fuck you, Chris Davis.
This is one of my
Division
favorite
2.
games in recent memory. I'm hopelessly addicted to it. I mean, it's not that I have a problem. I'm
Brad,
working towards a
Brad.
goal.
Brad,
And
Why are you
how
holding-
many
why
hours
are you holding
of
like
Slay the
this?
Spire have you played while pooping?
I mean, I don't know. I don't,
He's like, I once sat on the toilet, pooped, and I didn't get up until I had to poop again.
He only plays Slay the Spire when he's having a push.
That's a lot of pushing.
The thing is, like, I mean, it's I'm working towards a goal that is like very challenging. I'm trying to get up to Ascension level 20, and I had to restart when the Switch version came out. But like, this is not an easy game, especially once you get to that point where they start like cutting down your health restoration and your potion slots, and enemies and bosses start to get harder. You start with curses. Like, the game gets...
Dude, fucking starting with curses is the worst.
The game starts getting really difficult, and I don't only spend a lot of my time playing Slay the Spire, at the cost of other games on my Switch that I just stopped playing because all I want to play is Slay the Spire. I watch a lot of Slay the Spire. Oh my god! Like on YouTube, I watch like two people like specifically who are like really good at the game, and they go for Ascension 20 heart kills every time, and it's like, even that's addictive watching it. So I'm like, it's
you
just
are
sort of
all in.
Yeah, it's sort of just taken over my life.
This is
honestly,
a theoretical question, Brad. This
Yeah.
is not necessarily indicative of what's actually going to happen. But if you had to recommend to me to pick a card game to play, would you recommend Thronebreaker or this?
Thronebreaker.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
That is a story-driven game that's has a really good story, really great characters.
Okay.
This is, this is just a different type.
This
of game.
is more mechanics driven.
Yeah. Which not to say you wouldn't like it. I think anybody can like Slay the Spire. It's very accessible, but it's just a really great game, and it makes me like deck builder is a type of like card game that I've never really played before.
Yeah.
And this has made me think that, hey, I should try some of these fucking deck builder games because I absolutely adore it.
Cool. All right, Nolan, what's your game of the year so far?
So far, game of the year number 1, Superland.
Oh shit,
dude! I fucking love this game, man.
Yeah.
There's a part in this game where you've been playing for so long and you've gotten all these abilities, and then you go here and you lose everything, and it's the fucking worst. You literally lose everything, every upgrade, every dime you have to your name, everything gets taken away from you.
I thought you were supposed to be making a case for this game.
And it's all about having to break down everything you've learned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've gotten all these new abilities, and you have new ways of interacting with the environment and doing things, and you lose it all, and you got to go to you have to like relearn how to play the game. You got to simplify everything, and like, dude, it's so fucking good, man. Like,
Man, this is one that I kind of want to just grab people by their fucking collars and say, just play this fucking
How much
thing.
is this game?
it's cheap. I don't know how much, but it's cheap.
Yeah, definitely less than it's worth. I mean, yeah, this game's awesome. It's awesome.
I'll look up the price for you, Nick.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Nolan.
Like, my assumption is it's like $20. Yes, $20.
Alrighty. Cool.
It's currently on Steam.
Oh, that's
2,100 reviews. 10 out of 10.
Damn.
Nick, this is a good fucking game.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Well,
really good.
That's all right.
And the kicks, yeah, and there's a sequel
Maybe I'll
coming
play
out.
that as an excuse to not go get my ass kicked in Sekiro. Crispy.
My number 1 game of 2019
So far
is Bloodstain. Ritual
There
of
it
the Night.
is.
Nice.
There it is.
It's good.
Confirmed.
And I think it's pretty too. I think it looks good.
aspects of it can be pretty.
I think you're all a bunch of
Are you
fucking
playing on
bitches.
PC?
It's not
playing
so
on
much
PS4.
that it visually looks bad, but like environments can look repetitive. Like this is just
I
that
don't want
other
to fucking hear it,
environment.
Brad. This is my number 1 game of 2019.
I think it's
So
also more.
far.
I think for me,
it's
like
my
visually
number 2.
speaking, I feel like it was more of just like a disappointment. I was like, what this could have looked like with a more like stylized art style. But I don't. That's not to say it
just
necessarily looks that
comparing
bad.
it to like
Blah 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 blah.
like Symphony of the Night has some of the dopest sprite work ever the industry's ever seen.
great.
You know, so to go from that to this, it's
Yeah.
But you know what? I bet you anything, Bloodstained 2 will look real nice.
One thing I do want to say is I really like OD as a character.
OD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his fucking like rainbow cloak that he wears is like
Oh, yeah.
the coolest thing I've ever seen, and I fucking wish it was like an option for the character.
Why does he have
And,
like a toilet under him?
Every like wizard character I ever make in D&D from now on is gonna have a cloak that looks like that. It's fucking dope as shit, just like stars and rainbow.
There's a chair you
It's
can
so
sit on,
cool.
Nick. There's a chair you can sit on in this game, and a lance knight pokes you in the butt.
Yeah, There
say,
are chairs
"What?"
that are mimics.
Yeah.
That like if you sit on them, they'll like
They'll
into
jump into
spikes.
spikes. This game, it's fucking good.
It's so
you need to
good.
get around to it. It's fucking
Son
good.
of a bitch.
So-
As soon as my heart heals from being burned by the Switch version, maybe I'll feel okay spending more money to buy the PC version.
By the way, Nick,
Uh-huh.
before we move on too far, Superland's on sale right now on Green Man Gaming, $13.40.
Nice.
Ooh, shit.
100% worth it. I
All
paid
right.
$20 for it, and I don't regret a dime.
I will look into that. That sounds like something I definitely need to play.
I regret
Also,
him paying
Bloodstained
20
sounds like a
bucks
game
for
I
it
definitely need to
because
play.
that means for some reason I don't have access to Carlos's copy.
Yeah, what you haven't played Bloodstained?
Just the Switch, because I got the Switch
right.
version and it sucks.
I will say my love for Bloodstained is effusive, and only Slay the Spire is keeping it from being my number one, which,
All right,
is abnormal.
the time has come. My number one game of the year is Bloodstained Ritual.
Wow.
What is it, Nick? Is it Plague Tale Innocence?
Yes, it's Plague Tale Innocence.
Really?
No, it's Days Gone.
Oh.
It's gone.
Dude,
what
Days
happened to your
Gone.
love? To all your praise and hype for Resident Evil 2 remake.
Dude, it's my number two.
Gone.
It's my number 2 game of the year. Resident Evil 2 remake's amazing, but like Days Gone, kind
Yeah.
of just blew past
Is
my
that right?
expectations. Like I was not expecting to like that game as much as I did, and it's kind of the package deal for me, man. It's got in my opinion an incredible story, some of my favorite characters of the entire year, a beautiful open world, and the combat is divine. I fucking love mowing down hordes of zombies in that game. It's so fucking good. And another thing I love about it is just that like the world feels so like real, and like it feels like it's a zombie apocalypse, but zombies are just kind of sparingly like, you know, it's not zombies everywhere you look. You can ride for miles without seeing zombies, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's one, or boom, there's 50 of them. You never fucking know. Like it's so fucking good, and the story goes so many places. Like I'm not even, dude, like beyond just like the main 2 characters of the game, like all the supporting cast is great. Has amazing voice acting. Some like as far as characters go, like I cared about like almost every one of the supporting cast in this game. It's so fucking good. I cannot wait for this.
There's a song. So, you know, there's one streamer that I watch, and for his break music, he uses a song that some dude in the game is like singing it like a campfire, like he's singing like a rock song or something.
I don't.
Oh my god!
I
it's
played that
so
game for
stupid.
75 hours. I don't recall
I
this.
think it's Days Gone. Maybe it's a.
You
No,
might be.
it's Days Gone. There's like a dude in the game, and he's singing a song in the world.
Oh, so there's. I may not have actually seen it. There is a character in the one of the towns that there's like a gazebo, and if you go to the gazebo at a very specific time of day after you've done something out in the world, he will pick up a guitar and play a song. I never saw it. I know it existed, but
That song
I never
is
saw
so
it.
Stupid, but it's great.
You're not a real Days Gone fan.
Yeah,
then, Nick.
you're not a real Days
This
Gone
guy
fan.
over
What
here,
the
fucking.
fuck?
How many
Poser.
hours do I have?
Poser.
I platinumed the game. It is the second platinum
What's
I've
the
ever.
first one?
Spider-Man.
Wow.
Is
Now
the
that's
sec-
an easy plat.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Days Gone I would not say is an easy platinum.
Is this your favorite game of all time?
No, dude, I'm not saying it's my favorite game of all time, but it is definitely up there as like one of my favorite like zombie games ever made for sure.
Better than Dying Light?
Better
Hold
than
your
Last
fucking
of Us?
tongue.
I mean,
Better than Left 4 Dead?
yeah, I mean for me, better than Left 4. I mean, you know, Left 4 Dead is just not made for me necessarily. I had a lot of fun in Left 4 Dead, but like
Better
Days
than-
Gone is the full package deal for me, man. It's got story, it's got open world, it's got amazing
It's got white dudes on motorcycles.
white dudes on motorcycles.
Is it better?
How dare you, Crispy?
Is it better than
This is the rest of the show. You're just gonna ask me, is it better than
Zombies
this?
ate my
Better than
neighbors.
no? What's the one where you play as a zombie? Rebel Without a Pulse. What's that game?
Oh,
called?
Stubbs the zombie.
Stubbs. Is it better than Stubbs, the
Barbecue
zombie?
the zombie.
this? Without question. Without question.
All right.
Which
Without
one was
question. Anyways,
Stubbs?
That's
Dude,
our
those
top
are.
The
five.
zombie was a Bungie game.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Those are our top 5.
Shut up. Those were our top 5 games.
Top 5 games of the year so far. Of course, we will revisit these lists at the end of the year, as we always do, but that kind of gives you an idea of where we stand right now. I'm looking forward to the rest of the year because I feel like the
It
front...
could change. There's a lot of games coming out. In
the
the
back
half.
end of 2019 is packed. The front end, I feel, is a little slow. But I'm looking forward to the
There's a
second
big one
half of the
coming
year.
out next week.
What's
How
next
big
week?
one?
I know this week we
Dude,
have
Marvel comes out tomorrow.
and it's
Oh,
getting
Jesus,
decent
Marvel.
reviews.
It's
Marvel Ultimate
really?
Alliance
Ultimate
3.
Alliance 3?
It's
For the
it's
Switch?
You mean it's not getting like poop from a butt reviews?
no, it's
So it just looks like poop from a butt. It's sort of like a bloodstain sort of thing.
You little bitch.
maybe
You know that?
you're a little bitch.
I've seen footage of this game, and like the effects are so like they're too much. It's so hard to follow what the fuck is going on.
Maybe if you got old man eyes.
All right,
No.
let's move on, guys. We're making good time. Let's keep the ball rolling here. I'm gonna do supporter spotlight, and then we'll do questions. Our supporter
By the way,
spot.
I predict this game that's coming out next week that I guess maybe none of y'all are getting at launch. All of y'all will have played it by the
What
end of the
game,
year.
Brad?
What is it?
No, I can't tell you.
Go fuck yourself.
It's so not on y'all's radar.
Fire
you don't
Emblem
even know
next
what I'm
week?
talking about. Yeah.
Okay. The houses, the Harry Potter,
He's just being
whatever.
a little bitch about Fire.
It's on my fucking radar.
Because you won't let us get it off
feel
our radar.
bad for not wanting to play this game.
Our supporter spotlight for this week. Again, if you're a supporter on Patreon or Twitch, there is a supporter spotlight channel in Discord where you can submit your answers to these questions. We'll pick a random every week and we'll read your answers. This week it's Zerby, whose name is Vincent. He does not tell me where he's
D'Onofrio?
from. He does not tell me where
Vincent
he's from.
D'Onofrio is Zerby?
I can't stress this enough, guys. I'm so thankful to know your actual names.
I
But
loved you in Full Metal Jacket, Zerby.
I want to know where you're from. You don't have to give me the address. Just tell me what city and state, or what state at least. I don't know. I'm just interested, man. It's
Chris
It's
Thacker
very
from
interesting.
Kincaid, West Virginia.
I can't
Chris
believe we have.
Thacker.
I'd be
Show
really
up at his house.
I'd be really upset if I found out he didn't still live in
Show up
Kincaid,
at Chris
West Virginia.
Thacker's house. Everyone go. This is 4PP's Area 51 raid.
Brett.
We're gonna raid Chris Thacker's house.
If
Of
you-
the Kincaid Thacker.
Brad, if you ever end up somehow in Kincaid, West Virginia,
I'm gonna find Chris Thacker.
you better, because I can't imagine. Oh man, that'd be.
Kincaid, West Virginia cannot be a big town.
It cannot be.
Which is, I think, what started this joke.
All right, I'm gonna read a few of his
Can't
answers.
give your first and last name and the small town that you're from.
Go to the gas station and ask where you live.
Yeah. Yo, where's Chris Thacker? You know Thacker?
All right, supporter spotlight. Zerby says, and the question is, what is one interesting fact about yourself that you would like the community to know? He says, I have an associate's degree in game design, which I've not really used much, except for personal work to stay familiar with it. I hope someday to get enough stability and passion to actually use it.
Huh.
What?
Did you find Kincaid, West Virginia?
Kincaid, West Virginia, as of the 2010 census, has a population of 260.
Holy shit! We're going to Chris Thacker's house or his farm or whatever the fuck.
Down in the holler?
Jesus Christ.
This is not the supporter spotlight.
I know. Sorry.
Talking
Sorry.
about Zerby.
Stay focused, people. Stay focused.
Zerby has an associate's degree in game design.
He does have an associate's
That's
degree in
pretty
game
cool.
design. All right. So, what is a game that you consider to be underrated that you wish more people would play, and why?
Superland.
No, that's not it. Are you ready for this, Brad?
What?
Alone in the Dark 2008.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
Jesus Christ.
hear him out. Hear him out. He
Okay.
says, this game is bad, I'll admit.
Give me back my stone. I don't have your stone, and fuck you anyway.
Is that really the line?
Yeah.
I'm the fucking light bringer.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He says, at launch it was terribly buggy and the voice acting is cringy. But damn it, do I believe this game had great elements to it. The best immersive inventory system and near best health system.
What?
He says Metal Gear Solid 3 just barely beats the health system, by the way. And the few puzzles were pretty great. Visuals were good too. I feel like this game was only ever trashed on and not respected in any way for its rather ambitious attempts, and if the game had been given more of a chance, could have revived the long dead series for the modern era. I played this game from start to finish.
Twice, no.
No, not twice. I don't think I could have done it
But
twice.
you probably bought the PS3 version when it came out, the Inferno edition.
No, I didn't. No, I did not. Although there's,
Sounds like something Nick would buy.
admittedly, when I worked at GameStop, I think I considered buying it a couple times. But I don't,
That's that game. You could turn on that
Sticky
game
tape.
and go to any point in the game you want.
What you could what?
It has a chapter select that is fully unlocked before you even played a second of the game. So you could just go to the final boss fight.
That's a good question, Crispy. Why?
So, like, there was the scene. I wanted to get the scene. Give me back my stone. I want to find that scene, and I was able to just go to that point in the game because the game just lets you do that. Because, they tried to do like an Alan Wake thing, like, oh, next time on. But they don't lock any of the shit out. You could just, it's like going through DVD chapters.
Wow. That is very strange.
I don't have your stone.
I'll
Fuck
never.
you anyway.
I will never forget. I will never forget us talking about sticky tape. And like how he's like, you pick up the rat and you put the sticky tape on the rat.
That game sucks. All the driving.
What were you taping to the rats?
You're running from like mini earthquakes that are like following you.
Yes, I remember that now.
Oh my god.
I will say this: Alone in the Dark.
You're shooting fire bullets into little cracks and
fissures into the fissures.
Okay.
You're shooting fire bullets.
I've
into
never
the
played
fissures.
that game more than 10 fucking minutes, but I remember him talking about it. And how stupid it sounded.
I took one for the team. That was also right around the time I played Jericho. All right. What is your most cherished gaming memory? This will be the last response for tonight. Playing Mortal Kombat 4 and Tekken 3 with my dad. I was a terrible person when it came to fighting games in my youth. I either button mashed or found the cheapest / simplest combo and spammed it. Either kick juggling with... How do you pronounce that?
Hwarang. Bob. We used to call... So Tekken players hated saying his name and spelling it, so everyone just referred to him as Bob back in the day.
Oh.
Like the competitive scene. Oh, it's Bob. But then they released a character named Bob, and they fucked it up for everyone. They probably did that shit on purpose.
Just pick another generic name. It'll catch on.
Hwarang.
He says either kick juggling with Bob or turning invisible with Reptile and spinning around with his axe. My father had patience and actually learned the games, the tells, and the opens. Eventually, he'd beat. He beat
his meat.
No, eventually he'd beat. Oh, I think he's saying eventually he'd beat me and I would move on to someone else. Sorry, I think this was a autocorrect. Eventually he'd beat me and I would move on to someone else and repeat, but the same would happen again. I love it all though. That's cool. Having a,
That's great. That's very
not many. I don't think
touching.
Not many opportunities to game with your parents.
I feel like a lot of times when we hear these greatest gaming moments,
it's always
very
about
selfish. Like, look at this thing I achieved, or this thing I stole from someone.
Those have happened. Yeah.
This nice young girl who I tricked
wow,
into letting me play her
that's a
video
deep
game.
cut, Crispy. That's a deep cut.
Oh my goodness.
But every once in a while, there's someone who talks about having fond memories of playing games with their parents. That's nice. My parents would never go near a video game.
Yeah.
I always remember playing The Suffering with. That's like one of the few times I've played a video game in front of my parents, and I
played The
Suffering
in front of your parents.
I played The Suffering. Well, I forgot I was over for like Christmas or something, and I put my.
I'm gonna try this.
I hooked my PS2 up.
The Suffering.
I hooked up my PS2 in the living room.
I'm into dark shit.
My mom's over here trying to cook dinner, and he's like saying the word "fuck" really loud.
Nick.
That was my first real experience with horror. Was The Suffering.
The Suffering was pretty good. Anyways,
You're like, sit down, Mom and Dad. The narrative is really good.
Fuck. Anyways, thank you.
That's great, Nick.
Thank you very much for your responses, Zerby. Like I said, if you want to submit your answers if you want the questionnaire, the link is pinned to the supporter spotlight channel in Discord. We'll pick one at random every week. If we'll eventually loop back around and probably pick people again. So if I didn't read your top 5 games of all time or your 4-player minute or whatever, I'll read those next time. I'm keeping track of all this stuff. So with that, let's do questions.
Let's do. Well, first of all, we have 2 new patrons.
We do.
We do have 2 new patrons this week.
2 new wonderful
2 new,
patrons.
thank you, guys.
Trying to get to the names. Don't reload, please. Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
And Avery.
Hey.
Mark and Avery, thank you very much for your support. We really appreciate it.
Your patronage.
We've been getting quite a few new patrons. It looks like so. Let's keep that ball,
Thanks, guys.
ball rolling. Really appreciate it.
So let's get to some questions from our patrons.
Take it away.
Metal Button asked a bunch because he said there wasn't any, but I'm not gonna read all of them. You can't ask like 5 questions, Metal Button.
He just asked if we ever got our wiener in our zipper.
Yes. No. With the PlayStation Classic,
Yeah, let's pick that one. It's a better one.
sucks so hard, its price keeps getting slashed. What PS4 games would you like to see on the PS4 Classic 20 years from now?
What? What?
He's just the
This is
the
one of
PlayStation
those
Classic has
situations-
been like getting price cuts left and right.
I'm really
and every
hoping-
time I see it get a price cut,
Yeah.
I think about it for like fourth of a second, and then I realize there's no reason for
It's
me to
really
own this
easy
device.
to mod, and it's a nice little
I don't need to.
I really hope this
like an
whole
alternative to like a Raspberry Pi.
I really hope this whole classic thing just kind of dies. It's kind
I
of
think it will.
it's kind of annoying, to be honest.
But you didn't answer the question.
I don't. I mean,
Infamous Second Son.
No.
I mean, there's
That'll
like,
be on there.
I mean, I'm trying to think of what games
Killzone 4.
like. It's a what games would I not? I mean, Horizon.
Just like the
all
best
the exclusives
games.
like Horizon,
Yeah.
God of War,
Bloodborne.
The
Bloodborne
Order.
would be
Resident Evil
good.
Remake 2, Bloodborne. Yeah,
Spooderman.
Uncharted, Last of Us. You know the exclusives. I think
Days
those are the
Gone.
ones. Days Gone.
Star
Days
Wars
Gone
Battlefront.
get
Did you
on
see
there?
Days Gone is the second highest selling exclusive title this year, right behind Super Smash Brothers.
Wow.
Smash Brothers came out last year.
I know, but it's still one of the best selling games right now. I'm just saying, Days Gone is doing good. Days Gone is doing good. Looks like a sequel's coming. So excited. Anyways, next question.
All right, from Mr. Green Toast.
I'm glad for Sony Bend.
With Twitter forcing its desktop update to resemble more like its mobile app and causing issues like no longer being able to trim uploaded videos or cropping out images even more so, that made me want to ask, what patches or updates have ruined a game for you? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I honestly haven't even seen the Twitter update.
Neither have
It's not
I.
very-
I haven't been on Twitter
I don't know
desktop.
if I can think of a game I've played, but I feel like there's so many online games I see on Steam where like, oh, should I buy this? And then the reviews are like, the newest patch ruined the game.
Yeah.
I remember there was a Dark Souls 2 patch that dramatically nerfed the build that I had created.
Oh, the fucking yeah.
Oh, with your magic,
Like
right?
they
The lightning
the
spears.
lightning
The lightning
spears.
spears.
Like how many
Yes.
It's like
damage
you know,
they
it
do.
was overpowered, but I mean that's what you do in an RPG.
Oh,
You
of
find the
course.
overpowered shit, and like
Plus
the
it was
thing
a
is,
cool art
my
style.
whole character was built around that, and then they just fucking nerfed it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I remember it not being like super easy to respec, and it's not just respecing. All your equipment and stuff is like focused on like the one thing, and it's like I was about to go into like the DLC, but then they just completely nerfed my build, and it's like fuck.
I really wish patches. I know the reasoning why it doesn't work this way, but I really wish you had to like manually select which patches you're going to install or acknowledge before they like this whole automatically downloading and installing thing really sucks. I know why it has to happen because it has to keep up with the hardware firmware or the firmware on the hardware and that kind of stuff. But like fuck.
Balance patches
So
for single
unfortunate.
player games are stupid.
Well,
What
I
sucks
mean,
is when you play.
Dark Souls is online. So I mean,
Okay,
that's
well,
why they patched
like
that.
if you're nerfing stuff for multiplayer, then just keep it multiplayer only. You know, like do something.
Well, the problem with Dark Souls is that the game is always multiplayer in theory.
But the thing they did
I
is
know,
they
I know.
dramatically
I
reduced
know.
the amount that you could carry,
I know,
which
I
makes
know.
sense in multiplayer, but doesn't make any sense in single player.
For me, I have one vivid memory of when TF2 back in the day. I was a huge pyro guy, and then one day they nerfed the flamethrower, and like, I don't know if it's just my skill wasn't high enough, but all of a sudden, like, I couldn't fucking kill anybody in that game. They just lowered the fucking damage so much. I'm having trouble remembering anything else. I think most patches that like ruin games are often the multiplayer things.
Balancing shit like that.
Yeah, they're
all
balancing.
the fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying keeping up with it. The one that I can think of, it didn't really ruin the game or anything, but it was super annoying, and it's something that I think the community for this game has been like decrying ever since. Is in Destiny 2 when they started like adding on expansions at a certain point, like when they got to whatever Forsaken was, they added a whole new like armor system for like how the stats in the armor worked and like how many slots for like upgrades you could put into them worked, but they didn't go back and add any of that for any of the previous year's armor systems. So like you have a game that has like 50 different like armor sets, but there's really only like 10 that are viable.
Yeah.
Because the others like literally are missing like entire stats that like the others have.
Yeah.
And that's like super fucking annoying. Luckily that's something that's like going to change with Shadowkeep coming up because they're again completely like overhauling how they're going to do armor, but like that shit is super fucking annoying when it's like I've played this game for a year and unlocked all this cool shit and I've got this like set of armor I really like, and then you come through and you add a whole bunch of new shit that completely like doesn't supplement what I've got but just
Yeah.
completely like replaces it, you know? hate that.
Yeah, I don't, and I can't think of anything specifically that ruined an experience for me.
All right, well, let's move on. Next question from Ralph.
Ralph, I think he's a newer patron too. I could be wrong.
Maybe.
Not new.
If you could see a fast food chain have a super fancy upscale version of one of their restaurants, which would it be, and what's something they would serve? For example, maybe a Michelin-starred McDonald's cooking up some Kobe beef Big Macs with truffle mac sauce or something.
Ooh. Oh man, I've.
A fancier Whataburger?
What about Chipotle? Let's get like a
Well,
like
I mean,
a fancy
that's
Chipotle.
pooping.
Make some like fancy like gourmet tacos with some
I feel like
fancy expensive meat.
there's a lot of fast food places where their charm is in like how cheap,
How
and
shitty
greasy
they
the
are.
food is. But
I'm
I
pretty
think-
sure the thing with Taco Bell, the charm is the fact that they squeeze the meat out of a tube.
Yeah,
There is like a fancy
But,
Taco
like-
Bell.
I went to Taco Bell for the first time.
It's
That's
called
called-
Taco Bell
that's-
Cantina.
Yeah.
They serve the same food. They just also have a liquor license.
Yeah.
I went to
nice.
I went to Taco Bell on my own accord for the first time in my life last week.
That's weird.
I know. I've
What'd you
been
get?
there before, but
What'd you
usually it's
get?
other people. A quesadilla and a crispy chicken taco because I had no idea what I was doing.
Played it safe. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I did play
Chicken
it safe.
taco. That's a thing.
Yeah, you gotta ask for it.
What? No, it was just
weird.
it was on the menu. It was a combo. It was like get a quesadilla and a hard shell taco.
Okay, well that's different from a crispy
Yeah,
chicken.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I said crispy shell taco. Did I say
you said
crispy
chicken.
You said
Oh,
crispy
sorry,
chicken
no.
taco.
I was like,
Hard
I didn't
shell
even know
taco.
they had
Sorry.
that
Be all
there.
about
Sorry.
that.
Chris Davis.
I have
Nick
no
ordered
idea
the
what it
number
would be-
7.
I have no idea what it'd be like.
Dude, that's the only thing I get at Taco.
Sorry, Chris. That was weird because that is exactly what I did.
I have to know what like a Michelin star Arby's will be like. I don't know what that is, but
Maybe
like,
they would
just
actually
the
have good
thought.
fries.
Dude,
Just a mountain of
I mean,
meat.
actually, that would be fucking great. I feel like
Could
right?
be.
Yeah.
I think a fast food chain that could really benefit from it without losing too much of its identity would be like Wendy's, because there actually is a restaurant in Ohio oh my god, I can't remember the name of the fucking town. But anyways, there's like a singular restaurant that does like the Wendy's thing, like their
Style, like,
menu,
yeah.
and like they do like they have their own Frosties and shit like that Dave Thomas went to and was like, hey, this is cool, and like stole the idea and made Wendy's off of it.
Oh.
But this other one's like a little nicer. I mean, it's still a burger counter, but like it's like the ingredients are a little more quality. It's like a little
There's something
nicer.
charming about like an upscale burger like diner.
Yeah.
Like that's
What
pretty
what
nice.
about like an upscale Gems or
That's not
IHOP or
that's not
Finley.
No,
that's not
that's
fast
not-
food.
yeah.
It's Findlay, Ohio, and the place is called Wilson's.
Wilson's.
It's really nice.
Wilson's.
I like it.
Wilson's.
Next question.
I'm sorry.
Oh, by the way, is Crispy's mic still low again, or am I just? I can't tell. You may maybe.
I think he
mute
just
and
needs to talk into his mic.
Maybe mute and reseat it. I don't know.
Next question from Mark, new patron.
Mark.
Oh, wait, sorry. I skipped live at the Milky Way. Are there any independently owned game trading shops still around where you guys are? About a decade ago, I made my purchase and trades through them exclusively, but they're all since gone out of business. The only thing around is GameStop. Is it like that for you? We have a couple.
We have a couple, but
Game
GameStop.
Over,
Game
still-
over.
Yeah, Game Over's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
There's also one over on 45 and 45 and
Mopec.
no, yeah, it's I guess it's pretty close.
183.
To Moped. I don't even remember what it's called, but I've been there once and I'll never forget it because they had a sign on the door that said "Don't bring your children in here."
Nice.
I think that's shut down.
I mean, I would imagine if you're
moms
not letting
went
children
after
in there. But
45 closer to 35?
yeah,
Yeah, that one shut down.
Isn't there a game and trade up in Temple?
Game and trade?
Game and trade.
Game Exchange?
There's a game
Exchange,
exchange, yes.
Yeah.
and
What
Temple.
What happened to Game
So,
Fellas?
there's a Game
They
Exchange.
shut down.
Game Fellows.
And then they have a Game Exchange FX in the mall, in the Temple Mall,
Yeah.
and they sell like old figurines, like you can buy a bunch of old Ninja Turtles and stuff.
Yeah, so there's a few places still around here. All right, Mark asks, for games with multiple playthroughs that you want to do you start to the second one immediately, or do you play another game in return? Just finished Vampire, I guess, and want to do Vampire Masquerade, and Malkavian, how do you say that one? Malkavian run, and maybe a Blood Mage run.
Repeat it. What?
Do- when you-
I mean, the
if
question
there's a
is,
game
do
that
During
you're
you-
a
playing,
series run, do you just keep going? Or
well,
do
no,
you take a break?
like a new game plus or a second playthrough, do you immediately do it, or do you wait a little bit?
I don't
Because those are two
usually
different
do
questions. If it
whatever.
was a series run, I would I would do
Is
the
that
back
what
to
he
back.
was asking? If you're
He was
doing
talking about if you're doing like if you want
Oh,
to replay a
If
game.
you're gonna replay a game or do a
Yeah,
new game
that
plus
has
or whatever.
like never come up for me.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm trying. Like, actually, this year in particular, I'm playing a lot of stuff. I'm replaying a lot of stuff, but it's usually years after. Like I was like, I know I'm gonna play this game again because I fucking love it, but I'm always gonna put some time in between. Like I'm already itching to play Red Dead Redemption 2 again, but like
Dude, I kind of am.
I would never finish a game and then start another one immediately. There's always something new to move on to.
I mean, it depends on the game, really. Like this year, we had Resident Evil 2. Like, how can you not want to try the other characters' experience?
That's different because that's like a two sides of the same coin.
Two
and it's
halves
not.
of a single game. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely some overlap there, I suppose, but like those are two definitely very distinct experiences.
I would say that for me, depending on the game, there's a couple of games that I've immediately restarted and played through again, but for the most part, yeah, no, I usually give it like a little while, at least like a year
Gotta let 'em
before I pick
breathe
it
a
back
little
up.
bit,
Yeah.
right? Move on to something that'll be there when you come back to
All
it.
right, next, final question from patrons this week from Zero Skies. What is your favorite noodle or noodle-based meal? Mac
Ramen.
and cheese, spaghetti, udon, pad thai.
Ramen for
That's
sure.
tough.
Pasta's just great.
Dude,
I
will
first of all,
say,
I'm with Crispy.
I will say that there's a lot of good ramen places around. I do like Tatsuya, but dude, a fucking really good chicken pad thai. God damn, you fucking can't go
Dude,
wrong.
I'm just like, don't even overthink it, man. Mac and cheese is fucking heaven.
Really good mac and cheese.
did
A lot of
y'all
people
ever-
fuck up mac and cheese?
That
though.
udon
That is
place
true.
we went in L.A. Not this year, but
Yeah.
like last year. That udon was one of the best like noodle based anythings I think I've ever had.
I'm sure.
Did y'all ever go
when
when Noodle Company was around? Y'all, I know they might still.
I used to
look-
go there for lunch all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was
what
one
the-
right next to my old work.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I really fucking like Noodle. For those that don't, I don't know if where so
Noodles
widespread
and
it was.
Company, yeah.
Noodles and Company was at least around here. I know it was a chain though, so there was probably
Yeah,
other places.
when
but
my-
it literally was just noodles, all these different mac and
Yeah.
cheeses and spaghettis and
American,
pad thai, all these
Asian,
different fucking
Italian.
types. And yeah, they had a really good mac and cheese, and I think they had a
did?
chili mac and cheese
They
too.
did. They
I-
also had really good they had really good I don't remember, it's some Italian noodle dish, but it was like a spicy chicken, like arrabbiata or something
Oh, yeah.
like that.
I like the mac and cheese at Panera.
I've never had their mac and cheese.
I've had that. It is pretty good.
Yeah.
When my company that I work for moved into a new office building, and I was super excited because there was like, oh, there's a noodle coming. It's like, yay, something other than like Wendy's
Went out of
nearby.
business.
And then I went there like once, and then like the next week it closed down.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Okay, well, Vanga, most of the noodle companies in Austin are gone now.
Yes,
They're
I can think of two of them. They're both gone.
There used to be one right across the
they've
street from UT campus that I would go to,
scaled
and they're gone.
They pulled out of Texas.
They pulled out of Texas, really?
Sons
Like a
of
legal
bitches.
reason?
You know
or-
what's
Do we know?
the
Can
building-
someone dig into this?
the building that the Noodles and Company used to be in is still vacant, and that was like 2 years ago.
Well, I know you're showing me the thing, and there's no Texas on
Son-
there. But my question was,
Someone do some sleuthing.
Did all of the franchises just happen to close, or did for some reason the company as a
there was,
whole
like-
decided
Maybe
to
it
pull
was a
them all
political
out?
move. They didn't agree with something that Texas, and they're like, nope, we're
They're
done.
like, there's not enough guns in Texas. We're pulling out.
All right, let's get some questions from our supporters
on Twitch.
on Twitch. First question this week comes from Thorax. A couple of weeks ago, I learned from David and Travis that Dead or Alive bikinis are a thing and run $150 a pop. Nick and Brad, over the years of knowing David and Travis, what other weird, interesting things did you learn from them?
Everything I know about what am I at liberty to say here? I don't know. I could say everything I know about cuddle pillows. I learned from David.
And what is that, Nick? What do you know about cuddle pillows?
Nothing that they exist. I don't know.
And
Huh.
Everything I could possibly know about idols, I learned from
That's true.
David. That is a whole cultural phenomenon that I had no exposure to until David came along. I don't claim to know much about it still, but like I certainly know more than I would have ever known otherwise with David around. Yeah.
Trying to think. I mean, it's a lot of potentially weird stuff I could mention living with David. But, I mean, zeroing in on anything like that Y'all don't know
Yeah.
already.
Apparently,
say-
David made a video comparing the 4Player podcast crew to idols.
Nice.
I have never seen this.
All right, well, let's move on.
Yeah.
Next question from Kinton. What book have you read recently or in the past that fucked you up mentally? Recently, I finished Misery by Stephen King, and that was a big mental boom for me, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
I mean, I read it,
Fucked me up.
and that was pretty fucked up. But it's the book is so thick, and there's so much
Yeah, it is.
that happens that like the fucked up stuff is kind of spread out, so it didn't like overwhelm me, I guess. But that is a pretty fucked up book.
I don't think I've read any like fucked up books recently.
I read a now I'm having trouble remembering what the name of the book was. I just read a book. It's a Western that I really liked. And I wouldn't say it like fucked me up because of like fucked up shit happened, but like the
You
story
are
like
noted
hit.
for your love of
A
cowboys.
Western? What
Yeah.
book was this?
I'm trying to think of the
It
name.
fucked
Hold
you
on.
up.
I'll look it up. Wait, I don't have my old phone.
I think
anymore.
the last
Brokeback
book-
Mountain.
Fuck.
I think the last book
Sorry.
I read that qualifies as like fucked me up
Like
Hardback.
emotionally or
was
scary?
Well, I don't know. I mean, in college, I read House of Leaves, and that book,
Mm.
like, while I was reading it, that book was like kind of turning me into a crazy person.
Yeah.
Like, because it's kind of a crazy person's book.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, a final question from
If I can think of the name of that
supporters
book,
comes from Beck. You've been selected to participate in gladiatorial combat.
Yay.
1vs1?
I got nothing.
Oh,
on
1
it.
versus 1. The VS are capitalized, which is weird. 1v1 to the death. You may bring one item currently in your home to use as a weapon. What do you bring? No cars or people.
Can I
So-
bring a weapon?
So no,
It
like a real like
says
a
you can bring one item currently in your home.
I bring my roommate's gun.
there we go. Crispy wins.
I also choose this guy's dead wife.
Robin has this thing that she had on the wall in her apartment that she
Dildo.
has not hung on the wall at our place yet. And
Dildo.
No, not a dildo. It is it's a decorative. It's like an
Dildo.
arrow.
Okay.
It's made of metal and it's decorative.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very like stabby,
Okay,
and
so
you can
Nick's
turn the
dying.
other end with where like the feathers are at the
Yeah.
at the
The
other end, which are-
fletching?
yeah, which are made of metal as well, which would make a really good blunt like beating.
Bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about yours, Brad?
What? You can't say Henry.
I choose Henry as a
He
shield.
said no people.
one will
No!
shoot.
He said
No
no
one
people.
will shoot at Henry.
He said no people.
You're taking that's an awful big gamble.
Oh, Henry's not a people. He's just a baby.
Uh-oh. Politics.
I don't know.
One of Henry's poopy diapers. Just like throw it.
That might actually win
You get
against
one
Crispy's gun.
shot.
Just open the diaper and throw it just right at Crispy's
Bang,
face.
bang.
You know, I this is a little unrelated, but I remember when I was younger. I don't remember if it was my father or one of my older brothers, but in their vehicle, in their truck or whatever, they would carry. They had, in case some road rage incident, you need to defend yourself. It was like one of the bottom rungs of like a children's rocking chair that he just pulled off. It's like, I just like the weight of it. It's like a good weapon.
Jesus.
So like wedged between the seat was the bottom of a children's rocking chair. It was a good piece of
Do you have a
wood.
child's rocking chair in your home right now that you could take one off of?
It's like one of those glider chairs. I couldn't get it apart.
What about you, man?
So that's tough. I don't know. So I mean, I do have a nail gun, which would easily be adaptable to where you don't have to put pressure on it, so you could just yeah.
Still,
Maybe-
I don't know, man. Like,
maybe I
how
do have
big
a
of a nail
hatchet.
gun are we talking about?
I mean,
Are you also gonna bring the air compressor that goes with it?
battery powered.
Oh, then who cares?
Okay, well, do you want to go downstairs and see who cares?
That's some premium
Only
content.
if I can bring a gun too, because that would be the fair.
Well, how close are we together?
Like,
I think you're gonna run out of bullets before I run out of nails.
What? I don't have to like. Bam.
I'm not gonna get that close to you.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna
like,
get
how
that
shitty of a
close.
shot do you think?
Is it a handgun?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about other people. I'm horrible at aiming at a handgun anything farther than like 20 feet.
Man. Okay, so you think your nail gun's gonna be effective?
I
at
can
20
shoot a nail gun a lot fucking faster.
All right.
20 feet though, if the nails aren't even like getting there.
This is a
All right.
battle of epic
Anyway.
goddamn proportions that we don't have time for right
That's
now.
all the questions this week from our patrons on Patreon and our supporters on Twitch.
Thank you very
like Nick
much.
had mentioned earlier, every week we post a thread on patreon.com/4player, where if you are a patron at the $1 tier or higher, you can ask us a question. And if you support us on Twitch, you can ask us a question in the supporter channel.
Yep. Quite simple. So thank you guys very much for your questions. Let's wrap the show up with the 4-player minute. Brad,
We're doing
are you ready?
another
Oh,
list.
fuck, I'm
I already
not
did
ready.
a list.
I only
many
prepared
I
one
think we
list.
should just end the show now.
Oh, maybe we could. We could just say, fuck
Yes,
it, we've done our
my
list.
hype-
Would this be the first time?
My hype is for
It's too late. You
Fire
already
Emblem
started.
Three Houses, which comes out next week. I'm very excited about this game. I bet it's going to be pretty great. Seems pretty great. My sweat is for Monster Hunter Iceborne. I'm not so I'm either worried that I'm going to ignore it completely or it's going to consume me. And I'm pretty sure there's no in between. And I kind of don't want either to happen, but I don't think there's like a nice in between. So that's my sweat. And I have two fuck yous. First fuck you is to Nintendo for goddamn it putting out a version of the same Switch that has an extra 2 hours of battery life, because that's pretty big. Gotta be honest. Fuck you for putting out a handheld that had an inadequate battery life, because you know what? It's not good enough. It's not good enough, damn it. Although Slay the Spire doesn't drain it as much as, like, you know, Dragon Quest Builders 2, which drains it super fast. And my final fuck you goes to Level 5 for not giving up on Ni no Kuni. God damn it. No one cares about Ni no Kuni. They announced that they're going to have more Ni no Kuni games or some shit.
Nobody wants
Why?
that. We just want Dark Cloud.
Yes, exactly. Make another Dark Cloud. No one likes Ni no Kuni, I promise you.
I mean, I kind of like it.
No. Did you play 2?
I own it.
Oh, classic. I own it. Why do you own it?
Because I'm going to play it.
When are you going to play it? Play it this weekend.
Is that a 2019 game?
No,
No.
it doesn't matter.
No.
It's boring whether it came out last year or this year.
Fair enough.
God damn it. Fuck you, Level 5. Anyways,
Yes.
that's all.
All right, Nolan.
All right, my 4-player minute starts now. My sweat is for Dragon Quest Builders 2, because that game looks kind of fucking good, and I don't want to play it. But that leads into my hype for Dragon Quest Builders 2. That game looks really fucking good, and everything I hear about it sounds good, and I kind of want to fucking play it even though I have no time. My fuck you also goes into Nintendo. I wanted to bring that up, similar to what you were saying, Brad. The frustrating thing for me is I was waiting for a Switch 2.0 kind of thing, and they come out with a Switch 1.01, essentially is what they've done.
Yeah.
They've fucking done nothing different. It's not like it's more powerful. It just has a better battery life, essentially.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
think
like...
this is it, too. Like, there's not going to be a Pro anytime soon.
That's what I was hoping for. I honestly would have probably upgraded. It's
but this, you can't, like, just buy this. It's the same fucking Switch.
correct. That's what I'm saying. There's no point in it. But yeah. And then my other fuck you is going to go to Cats 2019. What the fuck, man?
That is some nightmare
What
fuel.
the fuck is that
nightmare
shit?
fuel.
All right, anyway, that's
I got a boner.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that
kinda
goes
wish
without
they
saying.
would just make.
a fish.
They would just like blend Top Gun with Cats. And just
Top
do one-
Cats.
Do one weird movie instead of two. Dumb.
Wait, there's already some photoshops. Have you seen that?
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. All right, my turn. My hype. I'm doing all hypes. You ready? Here we go.
Hit us.
Hype the 1st tomorrow, the 19th. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order on the Switch.
You get,
It's actually
You-
is getting.
you gonna
pretty-
report back
pretty
to us,
okay
sir?
reviews.
I'm gonna play it. Looks fucking dope.
You gonna
We
play
should,
with roommates or
we should-
something?
well, my roommates don't have Switches, so
Bitches get
Pull
switches.
a Joy-Con off? I
I
don't know.
don't know. Maybe.
get switches.
Maybe these guys. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's only on
Uh,
the Switch. That's a shame.
Yeah, I don't know. My next hype is for, you know what I'm gonna say? Fire Emblem Three Houses. Does look pretty cool.
You are getting it?
Yeah, I think so.
Which house?
I don't know.
Slytherin.
I haven't researched at all.
I think I'm going with
There's
the
one that's
Golden
blue,
Deer.
and I like blue, so maybe
Blue
that
House.
Golden. Ooh, that one seems the lamest.
one. What's the difference between them?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Okay,
we do
whatever.
not have time.
My third hype is for more Dragon Quest Builders 2. I'm gonna go home and maybe try to play 5 minutes of it before I have to go to bed. And my fourth hype is for a non-video game related thing. It's actually I bought a new RPG
Yeah.
Oh.
called Monster of the Week.
Sounds pretty cool.
It's like it's like a fucking it's the Apocalypse World system, but it's to make games that are kind of like fucking, I don't know, like X-Files or Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Supernatural, Dresden Files.
He had me at Buffy.
Dumb shit like that, but it looks pretty cool. The dumb stuff.
Yep.
It's great. It's gonna be great.
Totes.
It's gonna be so much fun.
If we play, I call the chosen one.
That's weird.
What can I say? All right. Thank you, Crispy. My 4-player minute starts now. My sweat this week is, like I said, I'm planning on jumping back into Sekiro. And as much as I'm excited to play that because I love the way that game plays and feels, I'm scared that I'm going to be spending most of my weekend trying to brute force my way through this boss fight. So
You mean Genichiro?
yes, the one whose name I don't know how to pronounce, so I will probably just
Junichiro.
refer to him as that one boss. My fuck you of the week goes to me and Amazon for being convinced to purchase The Division 2 because it was on sale for Amazon Prime Day.
Whoa, you crossed the picket line?
It was a $20, and that is a game I would like to try this
You
year
fucking
for
crossed
sure.
the picket line?
I crossed. Wait, what? What does that mean?
They were like the warehouse workers were on strike for.
Oh
Pride
fuck!
Day.
I didn't even know. I've been very disconnected
just
lately.
Spitting on the workers.
My bad. My bad. Sorry. Oh, I actually locked my phone. Hold on. And my thank you goes to you guys for
Fucking scab.
recommending and making me really excited at the prospect of maybe trying Superland.
Dude, it's so fucking good.
You don't have time, Nick.
I will find the time. I just need to stop playing old stuff for a little while and get into it. And my second fuck you of the week, I got no hypes this week, man. I am hyped for stuff, but like, I gotta give myself a fuck you, man. Because we're playing Vampire the Masquerade this month for the Revival Club. I've been kind of disconnected from it just because, like I said, man, playing PC games that without controller or gamepad support is kind of a pain in my ass right now. So I've been kind of hesitant or reluctant to play Vampire much. I definitely want to play more of it. I know I'm not going to beat it or anything, but like it's definitely a game I want to sink my teeth into. Especially since they are making a sequel.
Yup.
So I don't know. I would like to maybe try and find some time to play it this weekend. It's just the prospect or the idea of like sitting down with a fucking mouse and keyboard in front of my this like hulking fold out table. It's just it's
It
not
infuriates Nick so much.
It
Mouse and
infuriates-
keyboard.
I hate this.
What
table.
year is this? It's like sticks and rocks.
I mean, I had a desk that was set up specifically for these situations where I could play PC games with a mouse keyboard. I gave that room to Robin when she moved in, and I had got rid of my desk, so I am deskless.
Wait, is there a bed in that other room?
Yeah, they sleep in separate rooms.
Oh,
You made it sound like she has her like she's
there
a roommate.
actually is a bed in the other room. They're fold out beds, but it's neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm kind of fuck me for not spending more time playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. We're running out of time. It's already halfway through July, and I would like to spend some more time with it and talk to you guys about it. I will try and do that this weekend if I can find the time. But yeah, fuck me.
Fuck you,
Fuck
dude.
me. Anyways, guys, that's our show. Thank you so much for listening. 4playernetwork.com is the website. Of course, again, you're invited if you're new. You can find us on Discord at discord.gg/4player. Jump in there. We're all in there talking about video games and movies and Cats, the musical, and all kinds of weird shit all day long. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can find us at patreon.com/4player. You can find all of our podcasts, all of our Game of the Year videos, all of our E3 coverage, all that shit over at 4playernetwork.com. And join us again next week for another episode. We'll be talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Maybe
One of us will.
more
One
Dragon
hopes.
Quest Builders. Maybe some fucking... Is Fire Emblem out before that?
Next Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Well, probably not Fire Emblem then. But we'll have plenty to talk about next week. So, guys, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Bye.